go live, that means
so you've done it again.
Live. We've done what again?
Look at our heights. No, it's all right. You don't want to look topless.
My fault for wearing a strapless top, hiding behind a laptop. We're live.
I'm sinking.
You're sinking?
Still doesn't. That's weird.
What should we lower it?
No, my seat's weird.
I think this new desk is a strange height.
What's that one? It's trying to kick me off like a bull. Oh, that's better.
That's better?
It's better.
Cool. Kick the desk, why don't you?
Are we live?
Here we are.
You short now?
I'm positive. We've got people saying hi.
Oh,
hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys. Peters is going to bring up the live on his...
For safety.
For safety. Well, it's working. People are saying hi.
Oh, good. I should make sure the volume's off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
are you going to talk to anybody or just look at me?
People are just saying hi for now. No one's...
They're just saying hi for now.
Yeah. So now we say hi back. Hi. Do you have anything you want to talk about to start it off with?
Yeah, I have a few things we're going to talk about. Oh, there you are.
There I am. Hi. Hello.
We're back.
We're back. We haven't done a live in ages. I got really nervous doing this. What are you doing?
I'm too much weight in the chair. Can't take it. Cool.
Cool. We're back. Hello.
We're back.
Happy 2022.
Yeah, good year.
I hope so.
No, it will be. We're going to make it.
It hasn't started off too great.
Yes, it has. Not maybe for you.
Not for me, but...
Yeah, well, it can only get better then.
I guess that's
I think that's left over of 21 anyway.
I hope so.
Cool.
I hope so. I hope this year's going to be better. So, are you going to talk about what we're doing this year? Is that what you were leading into?
Oh, I was going to do a couple of things.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we haven't done many lives because we've just been too busy.
Yeah, once we ended lockdown.
And she was on long service leave.
I went on holidays for 3 weeks. It's not...
That's like long service leave for you.
It's absolutely not. After lockdown ended last year, we just got absolutely slammed. So we didn't really have much time to do lives, unfortunately. So
not much time to do all the things that we want to do.
Yeah, we were doing just back-to-back clients.
Shooting
products.
And dog sperm.
No, I was just happening to leave it at products.
Yeah, so we've been, how long have you been back? 2 weeks now? This will be the second week.
Yeah, that's my second week back.
So we've pretty much spent the last week and the rest of this week and all of next week filming. So we've got bucket loads of new content for Inspire and YouTube. Mm-hmm. Even though we haven't done it yet, we will be doing a podcast. Yes. We've been contemplating for over 1.5 years now. But now
first it was yes, and we even built a sound booth, and then we decided no, and then we decided yes.
Maybe. Then a no, then a maybe yes, no, maybe yes. But now it's going to be yes because I have actually worked a way that we can quickly and easily fit it into our workflow without it killing us. Mm. So it's going to be sort of not edited, it's just going to be recorded. I'm trying to, we just, Lot's got some new models we're working with, got some new ideas of stuff we're doing. Mm-hmm.
Got a cool thing we might be filming later.
Yeah. Yeah, been working on a really cool shoot. And it's sort of, over Christmas it gave me time, I worked the entire time over Christmas just trying to catch up, but gave me a lot of time to plan what to do in the future because I still feel the fashion industry in Australia is dead. The fashion industry overseas, they're starting to get back. The big names are flying, but the clients that book us are still, the ones that are having it made in-house are fine, but anyone who's getting it made overseas is in big problems. So that side of my industry has slowed a lot. There's one other thing I was going to bring up. Now, this is a thank you to Beck.
What?
This is a long live thing. It's a thank you to Beck. There you go.
What is this?
It's a present. It's a thank you to Beck.
Oh, yay! That's really cool. Yay! Yay, guys! We've got our little silver.
It's actually a thank you to all
Yeah,
you
so it's a
awesome
thank you to
people
you guys.
that watch
Actually, it's not
us.
to me. So this is thank you from YouTube that we got. Should we like
don't-
display it
Oh,
somewhere?
you yeah, I can mount it on your face. How's that?
We will display it.
I'm not going to do that. Like, we're not award chasers, but it is it's
cool.
something.
So thank you to all of you awesome people who subscribe to us and keep our channel going. And you guys are
Yeah,
awesome.
we weren't chasing it. It was just really nice when it happened.
yeah.
So it was a bit cool.
That's cool. That's cool. That's nice.
Right, back to work.
Okay, back to it.
So I'm certain you've got lots of questions there. That we've
I've got a
ignored all
few.
of them.
Yes, John would like to know what percentage you shoot in the studio versus location.
Too much in the studio.
Yeah, I feel like especially during the last 2 years, we haven't been able to shoot pretty much anything outside.
Any clients that wanted to get in for a shoot, and we could, even though we're in lockdown, there was a little area that we could be sort of recording a documentary. We're allowed to do that, so those shoots became part of our documentary. So we needed to keep that low key, so a lot of it was in the studio. A lot of commercial clients, it's risky for them because if they want a full sun shoot or a full shade location shoot, we've just got to wait till the day in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Melbourne changes the weather so much. So it gets, and especially if you're working with models that sort of like rah-rah and that, they've got a pretty heavily booked schedule. So they can't go, oh, we'll just do tomorrow then.
Yeah.
So
Whereas in the studio, it's so much easier to control things. You can control the weather, if it's like sunlight or daylight or
And now my clients know that I can do sunlight in the studio
Yeah,
on an overcast day. They've tended to go the safe option. But we've done a little bit of location recently, and I'm loving. I did a bit while Beck was on long service leave.
Stop saying that.
And yeah, I really, really enjoyed that. And we've got the Friday shoots on location again. I think we've got 2 shoots next week on location. So
Ooh.
we're getting more and more.
On location.
And also my Sony is starting to, I've worked out a lot of stuff with my Sony, which makes me, like I was comfortable before, but it makes me really comfortable in the editing and everything now. I've worked out a way of getting my Sony to look like a Hasselblad in ACR now, and
Yeah, was that new? Yeah.
the new way I'm doing things. It's taken me years to get it, and I found a really nice little trick to get around that. So that has actually meant the Sony I can run and gun so much easier than the Hasselblad. I can, So.
Which is good. People are saying hello and congratulations to us. Thank you guys for.
Well, thank you
that.
guys, because you're the ones who get it for
we
us.
We just sit here and are us.
Talk crap.
I saw a question before. Do your Ajax says, do your models that you show often on your Instagram commission you to photograph them, or do you hire them?
It's all different.
Yeah.
So we'll have models that pay me to shoot their folios or pay me to train them. We have models that we pay to do Inspire and YouTube stuff. And then we have models that we collaborate 50-50. So the models love what I do and leave it up to me, because we've been working long enough that I know what that model likes and what she dislikes. If it fits in something I'm trying to create for my folio, it's just a collaboration between the two of us. We've got some stuff for for releases and exhibitions in the future, and anything that I do that goes to exhibition, the models we've already spoken to. The models have got a deal with any of that. So if one of my pictures ends up going really well, they get a good commission out of it. And then the other side of things, there's a very high percentage of our work that we shoot for nobody, but then sell afterwards. So our clients now will buy that image as their hero shot, and then both the model and I get paid.
Yes. Mark said, it just made me giggle, he said to put the YouTube award in front of your Apple laptop and see if the trademarks start fighting. Nils has said he'd love for you to talk about new client acquisition. How do you get from taking nice pretty pictures to, hey, I want you to hire me, to, hey, I want to hire you?
it's a tough thing, and Beck and I have been talking about I have to do a little bit more
Talking about business and marketing.
business side, marketing side. I don't like doing it because
I don't like it.
there's people that specialise in business, but then I see they're all sitting in the same box. So it's like advertising. Everyone sees an ad comes on and jumps on their iPhone, but the guy who might be head of marketing for Ford has just booked 20 TV ads. But whenever an ad comes on, he goes onto his social media, which he hasn't booked any ads on.
Yeah.
So it's sort of really dumb how a lot of the marketers and that work. I have a roundabout way of doing it. I create content so people can see me. So I had someone comment on one of my rants saying it's all right for you to use that throwaway line of boring images. You know, it's just another boring image. You're never going to be seen. But that is the case. If your images are just nice, pretty, well exposed, pretty girl, pretty whatever, you're not going to stand out. So people won't. They'll just go, oh, that's pretty, and then click straight off it.
Yeah.
But if you can create images that they go, oh my God, I love this. Not that they're going to book you for that look. Like Beck knows, 90% of my clients book me for colour.
Yeah,
So it's not, the clients have found me because of my
black and white
and my style.
And they really enjoy that, but they still want to book you for colours.
So it's more that, so this is why I'm really, really strong, and it's not a throwaway line, don't sit boring in the box. If you want to stand out, you actually have to look different.
Yeah.
And as long as you're not too crazy different, so they go, oh, we're not going to work with him, he does decapitated goat head shots.
Didn't you used to do stuff like that though?
I still do. I don't decapitate goats, but I still do my crazy stuff. But even then, some of my clients now, they absolutely love seeing anything crazy that I'm doing. Our client, every time they come in, what have you done lately?
That's what I was going to bring up. That's funny. But yeah, they do. They enjoy seeing other stuff you do, but then what you shoot for them is just like really it's color and it's just real, like
commercial.
Yeah. Do we have any plans to visit the United States in the near future?
As soon as
Hopefully.
we can get out of Australia, we're gone.
I think we can get out of Australia now. I think
Oh yeah, but we want to go to Europe and Amsterdam, and that is still a bit locked down.
But the United States isn't.
I think we could get to I don't want to do the United States in winter.
It's winter now.
Yeah.
We're thinking
We're thinking
back in
round
normal
about
times.
the Grand Prix, the Mexican and the American Grand Prix.
Well, back in BC before COVID, we used to go to America around September.
Yeah, August, September, October, around that area. So
So,
that's on our calendar. We've planned on our calendar at the moment. Nothing set in stone because the world isn't, but we're looking at Europe sort of May, June area. And we're looking at America anything from August onwards.
Hope so.
Hope so.
I can't wait.
And maybe Mexico.
I would love to go to Mexico. Oh my God, tacos, margaritas,
But anybody, we do have a mail list and we don't bombard. We send out one newsletter a month. That's all we send out. If you want to be notified first, because we announce things on our we send out to our mail list before we advertise anything. So if you're interested, you can just go to is it all our sites?
No, I'm just double checking. Don't promise stuff like that.
Or what site?
I'm trying to. I'll find what site it is.
We'll
and
put
I'll pop
it in the link
yeah.
below where you can go to sign up to our mail list.
And then I'll update you guys when we have travel plans and travel dates.
Yep. Also our Facebook group. We always post stuff that's the second place. So the very first people know there's a mail list, and the second is our Facebook group.
Take a shot of tequila Don Julio. We don't have it here.
No, we don't have it at home. I love Don Julio.
It's good. I love the recreation of the Madonna shot. Have you considered recreating work from other artists like Newton so we can see your take?
I already have a Newton brain. I absolutely adore his work, and I think it's because of my love of people like Helmut Newton and then someone so different like Peter Lindbergh or Vincent Peters or that. My take is I love the hidden stories, all the stories that Helmut Newton puts into his pictures, and I love the strong women, but then I love the facial expressions and the emotions out of Peter Lindbergh and so forth. So when I'm doing it, I'm trying to get those two together. Just so you know, we've already just shot a really cool shoot in that style, and we're just going to finish another shoot with it, which will be a video and a blog for the pictures. It is like Beck and I, we were just talking about this 10 seconds ago about going back to my old roots.
Oh, yeah, so what?
Yeah, so the thing is, it's me finding the models that fit into that look and are happy doing that look, because I only ever want to work with models that are into it as much as I am. And all of a sudden we're getting lots of models contacting us who are a little bit left of centre and
they kind of want to do that
want
stuff.
to do crazy stuff, yeah.
Which has been good. So if you want to sign up to the mailing list, you can go to either the workshops or the blog.
All right.
So I'll pop that down in here. Ooh, what's it doing?
There's a quick note.
I don't want to do a quick note. What's this doing? Let me get rid of that. And I'll ask a question before I start typing.
And that Steph Madonna picture, that was Steph turning up with a Madonna haircut. So, and some people have said it's more Marilyn Monroe anyway, but we did use the Madonna picture of Madonna hitchhiking in LA as a reference to what we were going to do. But I rather have my own ideas rather than say, well, this person's done it, let's do a version of it. So I've got, Beck's seen my storyboard, it's overflowing with all my crazy crap.
And half of it I sometimes like, well, that's cool, and Peter's like, I only like it for this one tiny thing in the picture.
Yeah.
Michael says, similar to Neil's question, could you also discuss who those potential clients are or were, if dead, for your style of photography?
The customers I'm aiming for are customers who are out there looking for an image that gets people to stop and look at the image and not look at it as an ad. So either anything in the advertising world or anything in the fashion world where people are sick of just blending in and want people to go, oh wow, this looks awesome. I have thousands of clients which, can you just shoot this and make sure that the detail in the pocket is shown and that button is shown, and can you get, that to me doesn't stand out. And anybody with any camera skills can shoot that stuff, but my clients tend to like me because they know I've been going so long and there's just no mistakes on the shoot. Everything, they know I can do it really quick, I can do it brain dead, but the stuff that I aim for is those clients, like the one that flew from Germany just to have their jackets photographed in Australia. Oh, yes. One shoot. I have clients, Rituals, another one.
Yes.
You came from over. Right. I know, I finally got it. So I watched the movie, that's why. Flew over from LA and I actually shot their stuff in LA and have shot it in Australia. And so I've got those clients are the ones that, that French jewellery designer, she was amazing, can't think of her, also French lingerie. There's all these clients which I attracted with my crazy work. And they're my favourite clients. They're the ones that, I hope they're not listening, they don't have to pay me, I'll do all that for nothing. Because that's the work I absolutely adore. Kiss Kill was very big on that. She basically said, we've got a new range coming out, send me some of the sketches or the odd photo if she had anything. Then I'd design a shoot that was different and crazy. And that was just so much fun to do.
Yeah. Stefano just found my Spotify playlist or my Instagram while they were looking for the live and said that my music taste was really good. Thank you. Oh
yeah, don't go near the emo rap.
No, it's not on there. It's my Bex Bops playlist.
Oh, your Bex Bops.
William would like to know, do you ever just shoot for fun, and what do you shoot?
Yeah, I shoot for fun all the time.
Yeah.
We've done...
There's a couple of different things that I think we've got a few tutorials of you just kind of like having a
play. We've got more
like,
coming up, yeah, where we're just sort of you're fly on the wall with me just having a play with a model.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this the other day that I'm going to do different versions of it where all the banter, pretty much nothing's
like we'll basically
out.
just set up some cameras and around, like just set up 2 cameras in the studio, and then you'll listen to how me and Peter interact with the model and see just
so yeah, there's a lot of
fly on the wall. So
back stuff that you don't see because Even a play shoot with a model is going to be 2 hours, and a thing for 2 hours, and especially when we're bantering on about their holidays up in Echuca and different things like this. But a lot of that banter also got the model into this great mood to do the shoot.
Yeah, and people have been asking for ages for us to do live photo shoots, and we've tried. It's just really tricky to have it all. So I feel that's probably the next best thing to having a live photo shoot is to. Certain things will be edited, of course, but we'll
on our
mostly
Inspire,
have
we
it.
can be a little bit. We're not restricted.
Yeah.
Like we can just be as long as we aren't too.
But there's certain things we would still cut out.
Oh yeah.
So, but I think that's the next best thing of having a live photo shoot is kind of just having a very slightly edited stream of us having a photo shoot, so you can see that.
But well, we do play shoots.
Yeah.
You just say to me, yeah, no, you're going to say, you haven't had any changes, you don't like me anymore. But quite often we'll actually schedule in a Beck half-day play. We don't know what we're going to do. She comes in, she'll find a picture or not find a picture. She'll do her makeup, and then I'll have to decide what she's going to be wearing and what the background and lighting is going to be based on her makeup.
I'd like you to, have creative control. You are the artiste. Rob.
And Rara and I definitely do play shoots because we've both got a love of Kate Moss.
Yes. Rob says, hey guys, Peter, you told a story about a catwalk shoot you were hired for way back, but your assistant forgot your camera. Did you end up getting to shoot somehow?
Yeah, so what assistant didn't forget the camera. So this was before Rosie, this was way back. So this was an alternative catwalk. I think there's 40 designers. I was out in the green room shooting some stuff for a couple of the designers that were my clients, and the organizer for the fashion show was my client and had booked me and had my name marked in the square was for me to stand. And so 10 minutes before I got to my spot and had arguments with people who wanted to be in my spot. And I said,
that's right, I think I remember this story now.
So I'm there and I opened my camera bag up and the camera wasn't in there, and I said to my assistant, where's the camera? And she goes, I just put it on the bench. I said, why did you? Oh, it's just in the green room. And the green room had got all locked up.
Oh.
And nobody knew who had the key.
Oh no.
So I did have a spare camera, even though I didn't want to use it. So I think back then I was shooting with the Canon 1DX, and I think my spare camera might have been an older Canon, which was just, it was a sports camera. It might have been a 1 or whatever it was. And I didn't really want to be shooting on that. And I'd say it was 20 seconds before the first person walked out. She's dropped the camera in my lap, and I've just got all my settings set up and just got there just in time.
Just in time.
So yes, I got through. I didn't get killed.
That's good.
I don't think I ever used her again. There was a few problems with that.
David would like to know, what do we think about the quality of the pictures that are shared on Facebook? They monitor the group several times. Or do they ask me if we monitor the group?
Yeah, our Facebook group is a safe place for photographers who like the sort of style that I shoot and want to put up pictures to show. And we're not really wanted as a feedback site, even though there is a feedback that's obvious, which is likes.
Yeah.
So people can just see how many people liked it.
Yeah.
And if you keep putting pictures up, it's only get 2 or 3 likes, maybe
that's
my
the
work
feedback.
is only, that's the feedback.
Yeah, so you can take that however you want.
But at the same time, I don't want anybody changing the way they shoot based on that. They should be, this is my style, and even if I only keep 2% of the entire world who love my work, that 2% almost own like every picture they do.
Yeah.
So they could make a living out of that. The other thing is we all have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And Beck and I are not going to be, your quality is not up to scratch.
Yeah.
We do have talks about people putting up stuff that doesn't fit with a group, like flowers and landscape.
Yeah,
and
landscape and like pet photos.
Pet photos.
Stuff like that, because it's not...
People who put every single photo out of a shoot up. We've now limited. We do knock back quite a few pictures, by the way.
But that's because if someone uploads 10 photos from the same shoot and they're only slightly different, I will not approve every single one of those photos, because you should be able to narrow that down and pick the very best one and not upload.
Yeah, if you don't know your best photo,
and
it means it's not worthy for the group.
So sometimes I will knock back that, or obviously I knock back things that Peter doesn't agree with, like bars over nipples or symbols over nipples, or if you've like
we don't
blurred
knock
it in any way.
Because you've destroyed your own art. We don't want to see art that is not what it was intended to be.
So those photos should be shared on a platform that allows you to share that uncensored. You shouldn't have to censor it for Facebook, because we think it's really stupid that that's what they do.
Even though we have to censor stuff for YouTube, but that's the actual shoot itself was never censored. It was only the video that was censored.
So so we do monitor it multiple times a day. I sometimes forget to, and over the weekend I sometimes forget to, because I don't really go on Facebook that much on the weekend, because I don't really like Facebook myself.
I'm too young for Facebook.
I am, I don't like it.
TikTok me up.
But yeah, so that's kind of what our group is for. It's just for you to share your work, and we're
not putting everyone has to start somewhere. And as long as our main thing is we're asking people to put up whatever you think is your best.
Yeah.
And share it in an environment you're not going to be attacked, ripped apart, or told to do it differently.
Well, I've also got filters set up to trigger, like I get notifications if certain words get sent in comments. So if someone starts slandering someone, I've got words set up so I can get straight onto that, and I delete your comments, because don't be leaving nasty comments.
And
to
even
people.
Facebook deleted someone's comment the other day, and they were
trying to be nice.
They're trying to be nice, but because they said jump off a cliff, Facebook's gone, oh, this is attacking, and deleted the comment.
Exactly.
But he was being nice by what he was saying about jumping off a cliff.
Nick said, anyways, enough about that. So if you want to join our group, I think I've got a link to it. If not, I should put a link to that if you want to join it. But yeah, that's the point of our group. Nick reached out to a brand on Instagram, and they sent them some products to shoot, and it went well. They're trying to figure out how to use that experience to move into paid work. Any advice on moving forward?
All right, what normally happens is something, I've got it on my list of videos to do. And it's that one of the videos is don't work for nothing. So it's fine to go shoot for nothing, because that's not work, but don't do work for nothing. So with the stuff someone sends you out some stuff, if it's cool and you're going to do it 100% your way, and you're doing this for your folio to put out some stuff, it didn't cost you anything, I don't see that as work. That's you doing a test shoot or something for your folio. But the chances of that person ever paying you are zero. Because as soon as you do work for someone for nothing, they class your value as zero. So even when I had some earlier clients, people I wanted to make my clients, even though Gallery Serpentine, for example, these amazing Victoriana gowns and that, there was always a cost. I need to hire something, so we go 50-50 in the hire. I didn't need to, I needed her to pay me something. And that was nothing in the way of the shoot, but once a client's used to paying, it's really easy. To try and get a client who's never paid to pay is really hard. They'll just go to somebody else who's looking at building their folio.
I shouldn't have run away right before you were finishing.
No, I'm going a bit.
So you put my lip balm. Let me put lip balm on my lip. My lips are really dry.
This is really dry. Why don't you have some red wine?
Does Beck get cranky if she's not drinking wine? I can't see any wine. I get cranky full stop.
Morning, Beck. Oh my God. I'd love to do a live stream without you knowing it, first thing when you come in the morning.
Oh, people don't need to see that. It's horrible. I've gotten better. I used to be
bites my head off like crazy. I can't even open the mouth.
I used to be worse. I've gotten a lot better with my attitude, and I get really cranky if I haven't eaten. I don't get cranky if I haven't had wine though, but I just like to drink wine. I don't get cranky, but I do get happier after I drink it though. That's for sure. I definitely get happier, but I mainly get cranky if I haven't eaten.
So we worked this out. So that's why when she gets in the morning at 8 o'clock, she starts off with a bottle of wine.
Yeah, no, Hello, Peter and Beck. How long do you take to learn to lead a model? From your point of view, it requires more experience doing jobs. Any advice?
Learn to lead a model?
I think so. Like, how long does it take to get comfortable with a model, like to direct them? Shoot with them?
Shoot-wise, look, if I've done 2 shoots with a model, I know their comfort levels, I know what they don't like about themselves.
You can normally pick that up on the first shoot, can't you?
Sorry?
You can normally pick that up on the first shoot.
Yeah, but the first shoot, I've got to spend at least minimum 20 minutes to start finding that stuff out. But it's more that if the model has a full shoot experience and then sees the final pictures at the end, the next time they come in, they're much more relaxed because it's sort of like, this is a good day. The next time they come in, they're super excited. Yeah. So by the 3rd shoot, normally I've got most models 100% trust, where I still say, trust me, try this, and I'll take a shot and show them straight away so they can go, oh no, that's not me. But 90% of the time they go, oh wow, that is awesome, I would have never done that, but that looks really cool. I really reckon that takes me 2 shoots to get that sort of level with a model, to be able to, I'm sitting there behind the camera, and it's one of the hardest things for me. Sitting behind the camera, seeing a model going, this looks crap, if only we did this, but I can't say it.
Because you don't feel comfortable enough to say it?
I'm not comfortable enough to say it, and Beck knows exactly what I'm talking about. But once I get to know the model and get comfortable, as soon as my brain goes, this will look so much better this, I just say, can you just do this, trust me, let me take a shot and have a look. But I then just tell every model, never trust a photographer.
So even I sometimes, because like sometimes I...
Well, I've done it with you.
Yeah, no, I was going to lead off and say that I know sometimes I can tell Peter's thinking a certain thing, so I'll jump in and say, oh, don't you think this would look so much better if you like pulled the strap off, or if you did this, or like, because it just sounds better coming from a female. But then sometimes if I don't know a model well enough, I get uncomfortable even saying that, because I don't know them. It's like...
And sometimes with certain models, they'll do something. Like they might drop a strap off the shoulder.
Like, yes,
thank you. I've been going to say that, but I didn't have the ball.
You don't want to like say it because then you come across as like being like, oh, just drop.
Whereas with Rara or with yourself, and
it's
only you in the last year and a bit.
Really?
Well, I wasn't. Once I told you, remember that one day? I said, just trust me, try it. We'll take a shot. We did the shot, and you go, oh my god, that's so much better. So from then on, I just say, try it. We'll take a shot. Have a look at it.
Ivan would like to know, how would you describe me in one word?
Beck.
You said, how would you describe Beck in one word?
Yeah, I did, Beck. You can't.
Annoying?
It depends on what minute of what day.
Unpredictable.
Unpredictable. Predictably unpredictable. Well, I think I've seen every Beck face in the world, but you just don't know when they're going to hit.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway, but it's a thing that when I was looking for an assistant for my assistant, we tried to advertise it, and we tried to more normal agencies, and they do not understand when you say we need someone that can just fit in, we don't have to change what we do. And we tried to put that in an ad on Facebook, and all we did is got ripped apart. You can't ask for a female, it has to be open-gendered. You can't ask for this and that, but I needed a fit. I'm a certain crazy person, I need someone who could fit
and I'm a fellow
into my
crazy person.
world.
We're both crazy together now. Frank says, greeting from LA. Can we please have you share the Sony lens adapter to fit the Zeiss Otis lenses?
The Zeiss Otis lenses, I'm just using the Metabones Canon. My Otis lenses are Canon mount, so I'm just using the Metabones adapter.
Metabones.
I think, I'm doing this by memory, I could be wrong, but I think someone said that the, what's a camera lens company? I'm not going to remember now. There's another camera lens company that makes an adapter from Canon to Sony. They're really good camera lenses. They used to be classed as cheap, now they're one of the better camera lens companies. I can't think of their name.
Wait, sorry, I wasn't listening.
You wouldn't know anyway. Someone will know what I'm talking about. So they're really good. They're making beautiful camera. They'll flood it in there. Beautiful camera lenses, like 85 1.2s and 50 1.2s, and that. They have an adapter from Canon to Sony, which is equally as good. Yeah. I think the Metabones, the only other adapter I use a lot is the Leica mount to Sony, which I use the Voigtlander ones.
John said that he's looking forward to the Brisbane workshop this year. Can't wait to learn.
I'm looking forward to that too.
Yeah, me too.
I get to see Donna.
I'm just looking forward to getting out of Melbourne. Stefano, we would like to know what's the best way for models to contact you. Email, I would say, because Instagram gets to...
Instagram's a pain because you can't mark something as unread, and I might click on it and think, oh shit, Beck needs to answer this, but then Beck doesn't know it, and I'm after the other 300 Instagram
messages
DMs.
that have gone through, and then Peter will forget to tell me there was this on Instagram because it was just something that he's like,
Well, if it comes to our email address, we've got flag colours, so I just flag it Beck's colour, and she just sees anything that's flagged that she needs to look after it.
So yeah, Instagram, I hate trying to do business over Instagram. Yeah. It is so frustrating. The messages get so...
Well, what's even worse is when we have certain people who will send one message on Insta, one through Facebook, one through Messenger, and then one through our internet. And it's like every second thing through a different platform.
And for someone who tries to be so organised so I don't get in a tizzy, it stresses me out completely. I need...
Tizzy, sorry.
What
You got
a loop.
Fluffs.
A fluffs.
You got, I don't know where you
Was
got that.
Was that from you shredding dreams? Yes, no, it's not.
No, that looks like cat fluffs.
Cat fluffs. So yeah, email, I much prefer email.
Email is by far the best. Well, it's the most professional. It's the one that we've got folders we can assign it to, so we've always got it sitting there if we need it.
Wow, are we really that behind?
Yeah, we've got to hurry up.
I know.
How many people we got online?
How many? I can't see.
It doesn't matter, just look for
208 people?
Oh, that might be why.
So, yeah,
Sorry,
gosh.
we're a bit slow.
We're a bit slow because we're ranting.
I'll have to have alcohol, it'll speed me up this.
speed round. So I'm trying to speed read now. Question to me, do I feel like the mobile hair and makeup stations work well, like in the studio?
They used to work really well because we would have 2 or 3 makeup artists, and one would be assigned to one area and one would be assigned to another area, and they could be pretty much on set, and especially when we're doing hair and makeup shoots.
Yeah, you could. I remember when I first started modelling, we'd have them everywhere. Yeah.
But now the way it works is pretty much all hair and makeup's happening
in one
here.
area.
And because we do hire the studio out a little bit, if we split the studio in half, there's another. We change it from our charging bank back to a hair and makeup bank.
We don't hire the studio out anymore, though.
No, but when we. Oh. Well, when the last person who hired it, that's where they did their hair and makeup.
Ah, well, I guess it comes in handy for that then. What would your advice be to photographers who are young in their career, like under 5 years?
Just shoot what you love. Put your fingers in your ear. Do not listen to another photographer. I'm a photographer, so don't listen to me either. No, seriously, if you're going to make it in anything now, it is really, really easy and really, really hard. So the easiest thing is back in the day when I grew up, if you wanted to do music, you had one person. If that one person didn't like you, that was the end of your band. And that was the program manager for the radio station. It was the top radio station in the city you lived in. If they did not like your single, that was it. Nobody heard it. Whereas now we've got YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, all these other areas where you can share your stuff. And you'll find if you just shoot what you love and don't listen to camera clubs, don't enter awards, all the stuff that you're trying to do things to keep other people happy, you've got to do this to keep you happy. You should be the judge of your work. You should be the client of your work. Then you will get a look. Now, even if 80% of the world hates it, the 20% that love it will pay money for it. Whereas if you have 50 or 60% of the world that says, oh, that's nice, the people that say that nice will never pay you a cent for it.
Yeah.
So you need that love-hate to be able to get, because those love people are the ones who are going to make you a living.
Yeah.
And then share the very best shit, and if you don't like it, don't put it up. Don't let anybody see it.
Speaking of creativity, I know you're not copying or looking for inspo, but what does your creative process look like? Like how/why do you want to photograph nude with a specific white hood or a lion head?
All right, so I have different stuff I do. There's one series I do, it's called mirrors. And basically the pictures are for the viewer to learn more about themselves. So my story behind the picture is my story. And 90% of the time, nobody even gets my story, because I'll put props and things in there to confuse the picture. But those props will still tell my story, but what it will do, it will tell me about the viewer. So if the viewer goes, oh, that's racist, I know I haven't got a racist bone in my body. So you are racist if you're seeing racism in that, or you look at things, that's like an alarm bell for you. And that's just telling you something about yourself, because it's the amount of times that someone will look at a picture and go, oh, she looks smutty. And the next comment says, she looks so beautiful and innocent.
Yeah.
So that's how these two people are seeing the picture. You can't say one's right or the other. It's just that the way that you see with your eyes, you see what you want to see. And I'm very much with my crazy workers, to have people without them even knowing, but whatever they see in one of my pictures is actually what they see in the world. And there's certain things that alarm bells to me. There's certain down shots on women that I don't like.
Because it's like a please hit me type.
It's like a dominatrix, man, don't hit me.
Yeah.
And that's my alarm bell. I'm really touchy to that sort of shot, so it affects me. And down shots always feel, oh, I don't like that.
Fair enough. I just also wanted to quickly chime in and say, people that are sending us really nice compliments and stuff, I am reading them. We're just really far behind, so I don't have time. But people are sending.
And if you've sent a question like 5 minutes ago and haven't answered, just resend it.
No, please don't, because I'm still getting to the bottom of the list.
Yeah, but what happens if you've skipped their question?
I don't know if I have.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Just make it short. Don't say, hi Peter, I'm from LA, I love you. Just if you have a question that we haven't answered, just resend that question.
And also, thank you for all the nice things you are saying. I do appreciate it.
I hope that helps. With my storyboard, as Becca's seen my storyboards, it might just have someone holding a flower. And then when I do my photo, everyone goes, it's got nothing to do with that picture. I said, but if I look at this picture, it makes me think this, and this is what my photo is.
Yes. Do you consider yourself an artist?
Yes. Do I consider myself a photographer? No.
Just an artist.
Artist. I create things to share with people.
Chris would like to know if you have any tips for getting rid of goosebumps on the legs in Photoshop.
Yeah, it's called a heater. Otherwise, no, it's horrible. Goosebumps or those purple, the changing of colour from a nice sort of orangey and turns purple by the feet. There is no quick fix for that other than heat.
Well, there's so many things that you prefer to fix in real life rather than in Photoshop, and I guess that's like, if you can fix it in real life, fix it in real life.
If I have had to do some shoots many years ago, and summer wear shot in the middle of winter, what I tended to do was to shoot very shallow depth of field and have models leaning into the camera in a way, so once it got to legs and that, it was out of focus that you couldn't see the detail in the goose legs. And I'll explain to the goose legs, yeah. I'd explain to the designer, do you want that in the picture? Oh no, I said, well, to retouch it, it's going to look plastic.
Yeah.
Or I can send it off to be retouched so it doesn't look plastic, and you're going to be up for $200 an image.
Yeah.
And that's normally enough to say, well, I don't really care if the stitching's in or out of focus.
Massimo is not sure if this has been asked before, but do you have an agent? No, you don't. And have you ever had one?
Yes.
No, really? Oh, you have? I thought you didn't.
Oh, you know one of the ones I had.
We'll talk about it later. But yeah,
the one that stole my hard drives.
I think I know that story, but...
Yes, yeah. I have had, I was looking down that route for a little bit. Look, overseas might be well, overseas was a lot different 10 years ago, and agents were a really good thing. But I still look at some of the photographers I think are really good in agencies, and they get them to change their web pages and dumb them down, and if the agency goes quiet, the photographer's dead, got no work. Whereas if, well, we don't go client, because if we find something, we just can diverse. Whereas they're stuck, all their work comes through an agency.
Oh, yes.
So yeah, I'm not a big fan of agencies. I think even more so today, a lot of the ad agency companies are tending to go away from agency models, agency photography, because prices are so more expensive. But it's not like the model makes any more money or the photographer makes any more money. They create all of this red tape in between, and the price doubles. Whereas every big company that I've worked direct through an ad agency, not through a photographic then ad agency, are so much happier that
you don't have to go through that, just direct, Can you speak about the psychology of communications you use to help a model be relaxed, contributing to overall body and facial images? Wow, let me try speak again. I think I just...
Let's see if you can talk, and I'm going to fill my cup up with ice and Coke again.
I think that the training videos with Abby and Layla really show most of the psychology that you use, really. It's a lot of... He repeats himself a lot. I kind of know everything that Peter says, but it's just a lot of talking a lot so that the model feels relaxed, because once there's that awkward silence, it's awkward. And then it's speaking... just kind of asking them simple, small talky questions to find out more about them and get them talking about things that they like. So once they like what they're talking about, they feel better, and then they're going to look better because they feel better. And then once you get to know someone more, it's obviously easier because the conversation flows a lot better. But I think that's kind of the basic psychology of it.
That is, like, F-stoppers reshared our Layla video.
Trying to be nice.
They did a thing and they were lovely, and then they put it on their Facebook channel, and their Facebook channel was more full of...
Oh, but this hasn't got anything to do with the psychology of you communicating.
No, this is.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'll be quiet.
You'll be quiet for a second. So their channel was full of more people that don't work in fashion advertising, more people that will do family portraits and landscape and weddings and things. Two completely different industries. So one of the things I said to Layla to get her to understand how much power you have by thinking, feeling something, how much you have in your eyes, I said, just give me those eyes that you want to get some money off your dad.
I think you asked her the question, have you ever used your eyes to get money off your dad? And she cracked up laughing. It was like, yeah, I have. And Peter's like, right, so you know that thought that you have when you give that look to your dad? That's what I say when I say use your eyes. And she just instantly got it. And everyone in the comments, how disgusting, I can't believe he's like, she laughed. She understood that. It's just that you guys don't work in this industry and you see what you want to see. And it was
something that I can nail with nearly every single girl. My daughter, from the second she was born, she got more money out of me than anybody, just using her eyes.
Yeah.
So, and it was that thing, is if they learn that if I can use my eyes to get out of a speeding ticket or a parking fine, that's what he means by using my eyes. But I can use my eyes to tell someone to piss off too.
Yes.
So without saying anything, you just look at someone, or if they give you an inappropriate comment, you just look at them and they get that burn. It's an easy way for me to explain to a model how to use your eyes, and then in a still frame, that becomes so important.
Yeah.
Because you do not have, like in a movie, moving to and moving from. One other little quick thing, I was listening to a podcast the other day, nothing to do with photography. It was really, really interesting. It was about when you get uptight. Someone might have rung you, or you might have had road rage or something, you get super uptight. The best way to get out of it is stand as if you're standing at a bar. And all of a sudden, the second you stand and relax back, all of a sudden you relax.
Yeah.
So anything that you can do with your body that gets you into that mood, both in life and in photography, will be more realistic in the photo.
Exactly. So I hope that helps cover.
Hope. Was that all right? Did I answer that right?
I think so. I think we did. I hope so. Fuji's, Peter's never used one, so he's not too sure if they're good or a good investment. I'm sorry. Have you met Sue Bryce?
Yeah, I've met Sue. I've known Sue for ages, but we're two completely different.
Yeah, someone just was curious.
Yeah, no, in fact, every time when Photo Plus used to be on, I couldn't walk past her booth without her yelling on her microphone, "Peter Coulson, get over here!" Like, so, yeah, she was a Kiwi that lived in Australia a lot, and yeah, we are completely different with our styles and the type of people we photograph, but we both really appreciate each other's talent.
That's cute. Sorry, I feel like that was really rude. I was just like, cute. Anyways, am I?
You haven't met Sue, that's why.
No, it's not even that I haven't met her. It's that I'm trying to get through the questions. And am I a better model or a photographer? I'm not a photographer, but all my friends do still ask me to take photos of them because I now know lighting thanks to Peter.
Yeah, they just know that you're going to move them into a good light, so it doesn't matter what camera you use.
I'm going to get it. We're going to make their
and
legs
this comes
look long.
back to the camera thing. I know Beck skipped over it. Yeah, it's very quickly. Why haven't I used this lens? Why haven't I? Because I'm going to lose a day just picking up a lens or a camera to go back. When you first drive a car you've never driven before, you're never going to get the best out of it, so you're not going to love it straight away. And while I'm happy with the gear I've got, I don't need that distraction. So it's nothing against Fuji, I'm just really happy with what I've got at the moment. And we've just done a tutorial, it's not up yet, again showing you it's not about the gear.
I'm so sassy
the
in that.
Photos, yeah, you were very. The photos that I've looked at, they've come out great, and we did it on a $600 outfit. But for me, it was uncomfortable for me to shoot.
Outfit, not like the model is wearing, like the camera and the lens outfit.
Yeah, camera, yeah. The camera for me wasn't as comfortable if I was shooting what I would normally pick, but the expressions of the model, the lighting of the model, all of that stuff, and if it was made to a cover of a magazine, nobody would pick the difference of what camera I used.
No.
But for me as a photographer, no, I didn't like the experience, but if I didn't have any money, I would I wouldn't know any better. It would still be the best camera I'd ever used.
But I'm gonna go ahead and assume that the Fujis are good because every time we do a live stream, we have so many people telling Peter that he should use one. So I think they're good cameras. That's what I'm taking away from that.
Well, I didn't lose the older ones because I were in that crop sensor. I'm not a big fan. The bigger the sensor is, not in megapixels, actually in physical size, the more I like. But I think Fuji, well, they've got the medium format now.
What do you think is the most underused area of the Inspire site that people could benefit from? I don't know.
The most underused is our fault because I really haven't put much in there of late, especially for 2 years during COVID.
The mentoring part?
The business and mentor. It's just during COVID and that I didn't know how to recommend you to run a business during COVID.
Yeah, because you didn't feel you were running yours properly because we couldn't.
We couldn't run, our commercial side of our business was stopped, completely dead. I couldn't tell you how to go out and get new clients because I didn't know what was going to happen at the end of COVID. And I'm still not sure, but I've got a much stronger opinion now. That's why we had the talk that I've got about 5 or 6 new things that are going to go in that section very, very quick. I think most of you put 2 or 3 up in 1 week to get that rolling. And in that area, I've realized from feedback we get on YouTube, I really have to be I can be more open and honest on our own platform because I'm not going to get sued by somebody because it's a private platform. So I can just speak a little bit more freely of my thoughts.
Yes.
And a lot of my thoughts is anti-schooling, anti-camera clubs, anti-awards, because to me, an artist, it's actually in your soul, and every time someone says something to you, it's taking you away from what your real art is. Cool?
Yes, cool. Sorry, it just did that jumpy thing that it does, and now I've come back. There we go.
It's getting warm again.
It is getting warm. It's going to be 28 today.
Can't put the fan on.
People are watching in Canada and America. It's freezing cold, and they're really jealous of us.
They're really jealous.
Yes. So Brett would like to know if the Sydney workshop is suitable if he's a total beginner with portraits and working with a model, mainly done editorial photography, motor shows, and tech event coverage and street photography. Yeah, it's as long as you've got a kind of basic understanding of the camera and how to put it into manual, I would say it's definitely suitable.
Well done.
I'm learning.
So the one thing that we say, the one criteria to doing one of my workshops, especially the introduction to studio and things like that,
Yeah.
as long as you know your camera, as long as you know how to put it into M for master. We don't like working in P for professional, A for advanced, we go M for master, and you know this style does this style does this style does this, the three, your ISO, your shutter, and your aperture. As long as you know that and know how to, your camera will take a flash, that's all we need. From there, in fact, you're the best people for us because we can teach you.
You're like a blank canvas.
You're the blank canvas.
We don't have to
teach stuff. We can get you to understand light so much quicker.
Yeah. So, yes. Answer is yes. Yes. You are welcome for the link, Steve. I popped the link to our Facebook group in there that people were asking for. Do we have a video on shooting better YouTube videos? No.
We're not really good at it yet. We keep on getting complaints about our... With our YouTube, as much as I'd love to have Peter McKinnon type of cinematography and he employs a staff, lots of staff.
We're just a two-man show.
But then you go to someone like Gary Vee who employs heaps of staff and half the time you can't even hear the people's questions on the thing. We don't dumb it down, but it's only Beck and I, there's nobody else. We don't want to have a flashy production. We just want to try and show you what we do in as real a format as we can. Sometimes, being an old sound person, I get very fussy about sound.
So fussy.
But then we have problems. Every now and then a microphone will fail halfway through and we don't find out till we're finished and we can't go back and...
We're getting better at stuff like that though, I must say.
Stuffing things up. Yeah, we're getting really good at stuffing things up.
We're better
Beck
at
did a finish to a whole thing and we're starting to pack together. Oh, I didn't have a microphone on. She did the whole finish here. As we're about to walk out the door, I didn't have a microphone on.
I think that was before I went on long service leave.
Before you went on long. But
yeah, no, so we don't have...
We are getting better and with our podcasting, because it's going to be sound, I've already got fussy on that and got a couple of good mics. And that, but with this, we're filming on a couple of Sonys, well 3 Sonys now.
We have a gimbal, we have little
and we just have little lapel mics, and we're just trying to find, if Beck and I get too close while we're talking, we get this delay reaction thing, which is a real pain in the ass to edit. We're just trying to sort through a couple of little bugs so we can get Beck to be talking more during them, just to put her 5 cents of...
I have lots of things to say.
Shotgun, machine gun comments.
I've got lots to say all the time. I'm a little chatterbox. But we don't have. Yeah. Oh no, what else I was going to say? We also we just use Final Cut to edit and stuff. But
like if you want us to show you how we do it, well, I'm happy to show you. But I don't think we're the best in the world to do it.
No.
Because our aim is to create what's been filmed is more important than how we're filming it.
Yeah, exactly. But if you want to know, we can obviously tell you. This has for sure been asked 1,000 times, but how do you approach people that you want to photograph, especially if you're a very shy person? It's hard. It's really...
I've even tried it with female assistants. The problem is there's so many companies out there that do portraits and we'll just go up to random people, you should be a model. Here, we'll give you a 50% off first shoot. Oh, by the way, that just cost you $2,000 for crappy looking photos.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of people are gun shy of anybody approaching them. There's also so many sleazy people in the way of those, oh, you should be a model, would you like to? Yeah. And even I asked Rosie once to do that and she went up and got the weirdest look off the person. We're not doing that again.
I wouldn't ask someone in person, but I'd say that... Online's easy.
I'd still get Beck to do it, so what do you do?
I just send models that we like the look of a DM and on Instagram and just send, kind of got a real basic thing. I might sometimes change it, just saying, hey, this is sometimes I pretend to be Peter, sometimes I say this is Beck, Peter's assistant. We just found you on Instagram, really love your look, would love to organise a test shoot if you're interested. Actually, I could probably find what I say. Where is it?
Where is it?
Where is it? Where's my little...
Copy and paste.
No, it's not in there, it's in emails, I think. I say... Somewhere. Oh, that's
I think you've caught my dyslexia.
Probably have. Anyways, I can't be able to trying to find it. It's something along the lines of, like, we'd love to organise a test shoot with you. The model always has a say in the final look and the feel of the shoot, and like...
We only shoot to the model's
we only shoot to your comfort level. We never shoot nude.
Bring a chaperone.
Welcome to bring a chaperone. Blah blah blah. Let me know. And sometimes I'd say about like 40, 60. Actually, probably even 70, 30. I don't get a reply.
Yeah.
So I'd say, yeah, 70, like, no reply to the 30% I do actually get a reply from.
But there's also 70% of them, if they're not following you or not your friends, it's gone into requests. And like me, I never look in requests. If Beck didn't go in there, we'd have missed a few jobs too.
Yeah, and even me, like, I take social media breaks all the time. I log out for like a week or two at a time, and then I come back and I'm like, oh, God.
I'm not going through 1,000
I can't
messages.
So I miss things. So it's stuff like that. So you don't, like, it's hard. But that's all I do, is I just send a little DM. A little DM.
It's sometimes, if you think that might have happened, you can put a comment on a photo, but most people hate that.
I hate it when people leave a comment telling me check your DMs.
Yeah.
It really irritates me. I don't know why. It's just one of those...
No, it irritates me too. It's sort of like...
Yeah, I don't know. I get irritated.
There's a time and place, I think... Although with me it's easy. It's so easy to find my email.
Yeah.
You can just go onto Google, type my name, it'll come up with 5 different sites where my email's on there, so people can very easily email me. But I don't expect professional companies to be trying to contact me through Instagram Messenger, and they're not following me, so it's in that requested area, which...
So then if they send an email, it's like, oh, sorry, we didn't see it, but...
And 90% of the time the message is in that request area is, do you want some retouching done?
Yeah, or like a spam.
Or do you want an assistant? Or how can you get me a visa to get into Australia?
No, there's so many of them that are like wanting you to, like, pay to get extra followers pay for verification and like this page and get 1,000 followers. So sometimes I just kind of skim through it and then I just miss it. Yeah, anyways, enough about that. Do you print photos for, why did I sound so weird saying that? Do you print photos for clients, or if
the client wants?
Yeah, if they want them, yeah.
It's whatever they want. But see, I'm in the commercial world. So pretty much for the last 20 years, my clients don't want prints. They want RAW or TIFFs or JPEGs, full size. That's what they're paid for. I used to, many years ago, supply them with that and get the hero shot and print it and frame it to go in their boardroom, and they love that. But I don't even do that anymore because people don't even hang pictures on walls anymore. Like most people's houses...
I have artwork.
You have paintings of yourself that take up whole entries.
What if I do?
Well, I got in my man cave as wallpapered in my photos, but that's my own little man cave for me enjoying my own work.
But then I've also got prints that I get from, like, whenever I go to a festival, I always make sure I go to the art gallery and I buy a print of an artwork, and then I make my house is filled with kooky stuff.
So a lot of houses, it's amazing how many people's houses you go into and there's nothing on walls.
Yeah.
So for that side, which is a shame, I have in our main lounge room area, the main wall in front of, around the TV is our family tree. So the whole wall is covered in pictures of, you know, uncles and aunties and grandfathers and so forth.
It's cool.
Anyway,
Ben that you spoke to the other night. Hello, Ben. Just wondering if you think it would be useful to show up to events like the Fashion Week or to follow new fashion trends to stay relevant, like the colour of the year, for example.
Yeah, very, very, very. It's really hard. If you want to work in the industry, you have to know the industry. And it's amazing how many girls want to be models and you say Karl Lagerfeld and they don't know who you're talking about. And so you are going to die in this industry.
Or even if you say who's your favourite model, and I don't know.
Kim Kardashian.
Bella Hadid.
Yeah. So from that side of things, if you want to work in the industry, you really, really, really have to know it.
Yep.
Before magazines completely died, I'd say about 10 years ago, I stopped buying magazines for the studio. I used to spend $300 to $400 a month on fashion magazines, ID, Numero, V, all these high-end fashion magazines, and I would flick through them religiously. I'd pick up on trends that are happening in America or Europe, and then when I'm talking to my client, I could actually say, hey, trending now is this 80s sort of look. And they loved it because they would then go back home and after the shoot go, oh shit, Peter was so right. Look at Dior's just done, look at, and that's so important for a client to have a photographer who's understands fashion and can understand that this is fashion, this is uni student.
Yeah.
So this is someone trying to do fashion that doesn't quite understand it because they haven't actually, they've just seen one picture and thought, oh, this is cool and done it, rather than understand there's 30 pictures behind this look. Now you've seen the whole shoot. Ah, it's not just that, this story as to why this picture is what it is.
Oh.
And it's the shooting that Beck and I are going to do, which I can't wait.
Should we show them?
No.
No, secret.
But with that, I'm shooting an old-fashioned fashion, like my old way of fashion, because I got full control. It's like the designers that would send me and just say, do whatever you want, pick whatever models you want, whatever hair, makeup, shoot it wherever you like. This is what this shoot is about.
It's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited.
So excited.
You guys are going to hate us because we're keeping little secrets.
We were going to shoot it this afternoon. I think we're going to run out of time.
It's only 10 past 1. Oh, we'll see how we go. Yeah. Eric said that I have improved in my ability to relax. I have. I've gotten so much better. If you guys go back to actually, I don't know why I'm telling people to do this.
Yeah, if you go back, please go back. Have a look at our early stuff. It's so funny.
Please don't do that. If you
she
want
used to stress so bad before we did anything.
So cringeworthy. I've chilled a lot now. Because that was so when I was like 27, I think 29.
So 27.
I'm 29 now.
So imagine what 2 years of lockdown does to you.
Craziness. I've gone loopy, that's what's happened. Peter, have you ever shot your stills in anamorphic?
No, I haven't. Well, anamorphic sort of is cool, but I'm black and white. Anamorphic I think works better with colour. You get those rainbowy type of effects.
Ooh.
But do you know what we're talking about?
No. I just heard rainbows and I was like, ooh.
Rainbows, yes. Yeah, look, I've seen the lenses. I think they're really cool, but it's not in any of the photography that I've ever loved, or even back to the really old stuff. It's not something that was in that photography. Like I rather, weird bokehs and weird foreground and background blurs, or really bad vignetting was more my love. The anamorphic, it's great in movies, but I haven't really tried. But again, this comes down to, it's like, what's his name, Hicks? I can't think of his name, Jay Hicks? Jake. He has this thing with colours and gels, and he's really, really good at it. Mm. But to me, it's sort of like, once you turn it black and white, it doesn't work for me anymore, so I don't like it. Too much of it is about the colour, and I'm more about the light than the colour.
Yes. People were saying, remember before when you said the lenses and you couldn't think of what they were called, and then I was like, everyone will tell us. Was it Sigma?
Yes. Thank you. I knew that happens every time.
I know.
The older you get, the more you drink, the more brain blocks you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. It is Sigma. Okay. Sigma has a nice little adapter from Canon to Sony.
Have you ever photographed pets? Yes?
Yes, I have pets, and my daughter, I did her dogs, and she said like the first 4 frames were the best photos she's ever seen of her dog. So we had to shoot dog sperm the other day.
Oh my God, can we stop talking about it?
So we actually, this is the clients that we've had because of COVID. So we shot Harley Davidson taillights, we shot bike racks, It was really nice with you, the crochet hats on, the fishing gear. Imagine Beck wearing fishing gear. Her boyfriend did such a better job than Beck. And then we had to do a shoot from a stud place that sold greyhound swimmy things.
Well, I just don't want to think about it, because you know what, like,
yes,
you know what my brain does.
I know.
What's my favourite lens and yours too? One that makes me look skinny. It's a wide angle lens that makes me look nice and skinny. That would be my favourite. I'm not a photographer, so I don't have like a favourite lens. Whatever makes filming easier if I'm filming, or whatever makes me look good if I'm being photographed. Yours?
All right, so this is going to be another YouTube video, lens. But I did one recently on the 50mm and showed all these different 50mm lenses from very expensive to very cheap, and brought it back to the one that gave me the most emotion, that I enjoyed what the lens did for the picture. I didn't look at it photographically, I looked at it emotionally, which one told my story better. And I've had a little bit of I can only fit so many lenses in my bag, I'm talking Sony now, in my bag, and I can never work out which ones to take. And I've had certain lenses in my bag for ages and haven't used them. And then seriously the other day I thought, I really, really need to go out with someone like Rara and shoot with all of these lenses, like every single lens I've got, then sit down afterwards and go through them and find my favourite. Mm-hmm. Because I think I'm going to come back to, and I know this is going to sound really, really bad, but a lot of my shooting when I was on the Canon, my 70-200 was my absolute favourite lens. Then when I got my first Otis, I loved my primes, and I realised that I loved a 135 or an 85. Mm. So in my old bag used to be a 16-35, a 70-200, a prime 85, or a prime 135. Mm-hmm. And that was my bag. And after doing that shoot that we're still going to put out with Rara up in the golf course, I looked at my images afterwards. I was shooting with
check battery
Zeiss lens for the Hasselblad, which is a 80mm f2.8. And when I went through the shoot, I looked at how many pictures that I ticked, that I marked, that I liked a lot. And there was more pictures when I was shooting with the 70-200 than I marked shooting with the Hasselblad lens, which I used to absolutely love. Huh. So that's what I actually want to do, is go out, shoot a similar type of, 70-200 is a big throw, but I was shooting a lot of it around 80-100. Mm. And I think I want to do that for myself, but I also want to do it to share around. So, because I was really surprised. I love my two little Zeiss 35 and 50s, but they're more, I look at them as more old-fashioned fashion lenses, and I shoot them that way. Mm-hmm. But when it comes down to me comfortable, I don't know, the 70-200 on eye focus, I can just go brain dead, and the whole time I'm just looking at the finished image. I'm not worrying about manually focusing. I'm not worrying about step focusing. I'm not worrying about shallow depth of field. I'm just looking through the viewfinder. I like that click.
You're overcooking a bit.
What? What?
You're overcooking a bit. I'm
overcooking.
There you go.
So I hope, but this is a hard thing, and this is like camera gear. I can't tell you, it's like I saw that new Leica M11s come out, and I thought, oh cool, and I looked at their lenses and I thought, oh cool. I looked at a kit that I would buy them at $100,000.
Whoa.
And I'm just going, yeah, but a rangefinder, low light at f.95 is a nightmare to focus.
Yeah.
So yeah, it might be all cool, but at the end of the day, I really want to get my shot.
Yeah.
So it comes, and the older I get, is the less gear I'm starting to get fussier about spending money on gear. I'd rather, and I'm actually going to hire some gear soon to play with it. Whereas I just normally buy it. Whereas now I'm thinking, no, I'm just going to hire it and play with it for 2 or 3 days, look at the images and go, do I love these images? Was that easy? Was it really comfortable to use?
Yeah.
And that's going to be my decision, because I have a style, like a type of look I want to get. The most perfect lens in the world might not get me that look.
That's going to make my life easier, because then you won't buy it and then decide you don't like it, and then I've got to put it on Marketplace and deal with 50. Is it still available? So thank you for doing that. What is your opinion of Testino?
Testing?
Testino.
Oh, Testino. Yeah, it's amazing. It's not. He's an amazing photographer, full stop. No, it just, I don't have many of his photos in my love folders, but I can look at his work and just, he's brilliant. And I don't think
Does he do the Tau series?
Yeah, I think he did that, yeah. Well, one of them did it.
I think it was him. Anyway, someone will tell me soon if we ever catch up.
Yeah, I'm trying to think, Marius, those Kate Mosses, I always mix them up.
We're really falling really far behind.
All right.
Sorry.
Anyway, yeah, as long as, yes, I know we're falling behind, but I devastated the other day, somebody asked me, I keep on mentioning a photographer called Patrick de Michelia, and it's a photographer, I have a whole heap of books. So I quickly typed in Google, knowing I can't type properly, and up came his Wikipedia, and the first thing come up, sexual harassment charges. And I then opened up thinking I was just one girl, and I said, I don't like him anymore. And I can't look at his book anymore.
Sad.
It's destroyed me.
Destroyed you.
Anyway.
How do you stay relevant with your work and generate income? You are an inspiration, by the way. That's nice.
Oh, thank you. I don't try and, well, I'll without knowing, I'll stay relevant because there's certain sites I look at which keep me relevant to fashion. So there's one site called models.com. Beck doesn't see me on it because it's my midnight site. And normally might just chill down after editing or
have a drink.
Have it sit there, and I'll go through and I'll look at the latest campaigns, latest covers, who's doing what.
Well, even though you'll sit there on YouTube and watch the latest videos, like the latest McQueen video.
Queen videos, yeah. So that keeps my brain relevant, and yeah, the latest McQueen and Dior campaigns. You've seen me. Oh my God, we're getting back to real fashion again. This is so cool. I'm not left of centre anymore. I'm actually doing what everyone is. All the high-end people are starting to go back to doing. So they're pretty much it, but I don't try and keep up with the Joneses. At the end of the day, I shoot in the way I like to shoot for what I post, and then I do whatever my clients want. But I'm fairly open with telling clients yes or no, and nah, that's shit, that won't work.
Well, how was the first time that you photographed me?
Lucky I don't have my computer handy.
I was only a little girl.
Oh, the first time I shot you was on the makeup shoot, wasn't it? Your sister?
Yeah, that's what I was. I was just a little girl.
Yeah.
I was only
I can't
17.
even remember her there, but there must have been, well, I think she was thick, skinny and tall. So
I'm still tall.
So, shut up. That, for me, it's really hard to find natural fashion models, and she was dangly, stick skinny, awkward and tall. That sums up and naturally skinny.
Yes,
she
I've
didn't
never
diet
had
at all.
an
She
eating
ate
disorder.
so much crap on that day. I thought, how can she be that skinny? So yeah, that attracted me straight away that, oh, I have a fashion model. And I think that's pretty much, we started, and then I got busy and didn't finish it. We did a few shoots in that, and I started heading in the right direction. I really should have put you in a bag and shipped you over to Paris, and you would have been super famous.
Super famous, but anyways, I came back.
You came back.
Australia, hello. But yeah, no, I was only 17 back then, so that's so crazy. That means we've known each other for like 12 years. That's crazy. Will it be nearly 12? Because I think it was towards the end. I think I was nearly 18,
yeah. So
nearly 12. That's weird. Stan wants to know what's really in those coffee mugs.
Ice.
I got liquid.
Liquid.
Of some sort.
It's after 12.
We've been outed.
We've been outed.
Vita, your assistant needs an assistant. I don't know if I could handle having an assistant. I think we tried to, and I just.
No, if she had an assistant, she would be sitting there on social media or whatever. No, she'd be on Netflix or Stan all day, ordering that person around. So wouldn't do anything.
No, I wouldn't, because
they'd go get your pizzas.
I'm one of those people. It's like, even with my boyfriend, I don't like telling him to do something. I'm like, oh, he's not going to do it right. I'll just do it myself. So that's why I couldn't handle having someone. Because
we got you to assist my older sister, and she couldn't handle that. You were better from her from day one.
Yeah, whereas I just
with
couldn't.
you, I was going to get another one. It would be a second assistant for me, but it would be somebody who could lift heavy things, so I don't do and someone who would sweep the floors properly.
I could sweep the floors properly.
Someone who would paint the cyclorama properly.
I can paint it properly.
Without wearing more paint on themselves.
When have I done that?
Someone who could use power tools without screaming.
Why do I need to do that?
Well, that's the assistant I need. Really, I don't know if I want.
It's hard bringing a third person into this dynamic because it's been.
Yeah, we're just killing.
We've been like.
They wouldn't know what hit them.
I've been working for you for nearly 4 years, and it's been just us two for, it would be 4 years, I think, like about May-ish. So it'd just be a bit kind of weird having a third person. We don't need it. I think we're pretty good at.
Well, like if anything, I'd just get a lackey in to do the stuff we don't want to do. And we don't have to be there when they're doing it.
I can get someone to do the accounting for me. I hate doing
it. Well, yeah, I'd be the first. If you got too busy, I'd be the first thing I'd pass off from you.
Thanks. People are also saying really nice things again, so thank you guys. What is your closest to be-all lens for portraits?
If I could only have one, I'd grab a 70-200 because I could shoot it at my 80-85 or I could shoot it at 135. And if it's a nice fast lens at 2.8, I can shoot it fashiony at f8 or shoot it emotionally at 2.8 at 200, step back. If I want a traditional portrait lens, I was going to be picking something between an 85 to 135. But it really comes down to, this is what I used to do. What your question's exactly what I used to do. And I think it's the wrong thing. The right thing is for you to play with some lenses, hire and borrow them, and find the one that you like the best for the type of shot you're going to take. Because there's I think it's a Russian photographer, I don't know his name, takes the most amazing portraits on a 35. So it really, really comes down to...
Not Corona.
It's even me. I was looking at, there's a series I'm doing and I was thinking, what was helmet length was he using on this series? And I went to it, no, I'm not. I'm going to shoot it my way. So what lens am I going to use to shoot this series for my look? Yeah. So it's one of those things I can remember so often trying to find out what f-stop, what shutter speed, what lens, and that I think it's so much more important that you play with some lenses so in your head you know that is the lens I want, because that's going to give me the look I want because I've used it and I like that. A perfect example is David LaChapelle in his early days had his lenses painted.
Oh yeah.
He had a red, green and a blue lens. He just said to the people, I want the blue lens or I want the red lens, because he knew what that lens did and that's the lens. He didn't care about the numbers on the lens.
Yeah. Michael would like to know if we can share the dimensions of the mobile hair and makeup stations, or do we have them what are they roughly?
The mobiles roughly, they're about 12 to 14, are they American or Australian?
I don't know.
Oh, don't get me doing inches.
Just do millimetres, and if you're American,
12 to 1400 long, they're most likely 400 to 500 deep. The height of them is most likely sitting around about 90 to a metre, and in the mirrors to whatever size you want to drop on top. But I've got a smaller one which is sort of like 800 by about 400 by about 90 to the bench.
What is the toughest, Charlie would like to know, what's the toughest time you've had teaching a model to use their eyes, and how did you get it across?
Well, there's some models I never got it across.
Yeah, so you just get them to look away.
Yeah. And there's one of, we did that on YouTube, was it? When I called the model ugly and told her to look away.
You did that with Abby. Abby's
so
first
was it Abby's first one?
Abby's first
If you want to see Abby's first one, I was doing the demonstration. There's models, if I fail, you'll know I've done a fail. If you see me do a look away shot, it means I failed. So it doesn't matter what you say to the model, if you get them to look away, the picture all of a sudden gets prettier. But the problem is if they're feeling uncomfortable, looking into the camera uncomfortable, all you see is uncomfortable. But they can be uncomfortable, look away, now you don't see the uncomfortable. Yeah. So yeah, look, it's not that the model was no good, I didn't connect with them.
Yeah, exactly.
We might have been
just different people.
Different planets.
Yeah. I've seen it happen before. Not a question, but late happy birthday to me. Yes, I'm old. Woohoo.
You survived your birthday too, it's amazing.
Yeah, just. Recently purchased a Sigma 105. You don't have any do you have any Sigma lenses?
No, I don't. Not that I don't like them, it's just that Zeiss, I'm an ambassador for Zeiss and they're a lot more expensive. I still have to buy my gear, but while I was doing a lot of that sort of lens, I still tend to, that intimate portrait, I'm still a manual focus person. Yeah. And there's just something about the Zeiss expensive lenses, the focus rings are just to die for me.
Doug, we'd like to know what inspires you. Do you ever hit creative slumps? I think we have, not to be a salesperson, but I think we do have a video on Inspire about what inspires you.
Do we?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's called that.
Awesome shit inspires me.
Yeah.
Like Beck will see me go to her, oh my God, look at this. It'll be just some random thing. Like an incredible musician is a busker in the street and everyone walks past them, but they're incredible. I don't know, there's lots of little things of nobodies, but they're just so, there's a few of the behind, what the voice or one of them, there's some of the people who never get to the end because they're not commercial, but they do something in their very first one. And I'm just sitting there gobsmacked at how incredible these people are. They inspire me. People just being incredible inspires me.
Can't wait for us to come to the US. Yes, hopefully later this year. Hello, how do we make the model more calm and relaxed? Is drinking a good way?
No.
No, got to be really careful with that. If it can come across really, really bad if a model gets to a shoot and you instantly like, oh, would you like a drink? That can come across like you're just trying to get them drunk and take advantage of them. So be really careful with that.
Or you're saying you look uptight and I want to relax you. And
yeah.
Think, well, I'm not uptight.
Yeah, so...
Drinking's not... We never ever... We offer them coffee or water.
Yeah, exactly.
Coke. Not cocaine Coke, just not the white powder Coke. There's never any here because Becky as well. No, I didn't say that. Well, we don't do it here anyway, so... I just put talcum powder out and pretend I'm really cool.
But then there's models like Stefania who will come. Yeah. But we've been working with Steph for years, and she'll come here and she'll specifically ask if she can have a glass of wine. So, yeah. But we don't offer it. If we wait for. But even me, like if I go to a shoot with like some photographers that I work with from time to time, I'll bring a bottle of wine with me. That's because I know them. But that's me saying, hey, do you mind if I drink? But I would, yeah.
Yeah, we've got.
Best way to relax someone though is to just
relax them.
Just be friendly and just talk.
Talk shit.
Just talk.
Yeah, sit down and have a coffee and have a laugh. Find stuff on YouTube and that might relate to
the model and just sit there and watch YouTube videos for a bit, get to know them.
Get them a bit relaxed about the whole
photo shoot process.
Like it's easy for me because I've been literally breaking a model, I'm not allowed to say that, but breaking a model for 20 years. So I've made lots of mistakes that didn't work and lots of things that worked really well. And I have lots of saved videos and that I can really relax a model down by saying, hey, we're going to do fashion today and show them a couple of videos of the fashion style we're going to do so they fully understand what we're going to be doing. And then they can see the sort of posing or the reactions they're going to have. And it gets them much more relaxed to start with. Yeah. I try and make all the models feel when they're in here it's equal.
not one person's better than the other or any other way. It takes both of us to create something, so let's just work on something together regardless of what we're doing. It's got to be something we're both into and invested in. If my ideas are alien to her or what she wants to do, and Beck's seen it with some of the models, I suggest something, angel wings. Even though I do love wings in a certain way, but I don't want those pritzy angel wings. Pritzy. Like the Victoria's Secret angel wings, no. I'd rather the dead angel being washed up on shore with and the wings are shredded. You've got seaweed caught in them. And
I think another thing that kind of helps, but not everyone can have the same advantage that you have, but I think having me here also helps relax models because they see...
They just see you and go, oh fuck, I can do better than that. No.
Thank you. That's really nice.
Oh, we're not allowed to swear on beep. A delayed beep. So we tried to get the beep over it and we missed.
Jeez.
I think we're allowed to say it once or twice.
Oh my God. I think that just helps having another female around, and then they also see me and Peter interacting and just kind of start laughing at the way that we speak.
Well, normally their very first interactions with you through the door.
Yeah, and I normally say hey, and then I like show them around,
you
want
want
a coffee,
this,
you want these,
and then they finally get to meet me.
So Peter's really weird, and he kind of works a little bit different to other photographers. So
Peter's a lot weird.
Peter, where are you?
Don't laugh at everything he says, and then he thinks he's funny.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't encourage him. James would like to know what printer you use to print your pictures. Use an Epson, don't you?
I've got an Epson. I think I used to have the bigger ones, but I don't have to. I've got really good printers that'll print my big work, so I don't want to stuff around with millions of dollars of ink and papers. So I only print up to A2 or A2 roll, and I think it's P800. And I had Les Walkling, if you're in Australia, the best profile guy out. Loving the new Coulson. The Coulson still do brighter paper, so I mean that's my go-to paper at the moment. The brighter matte is in absolutely beautiful, and I'm not sponsored by them. I just love their stuff.
Just love it. Where was I? Have you met Jerry?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've had dinner with Jerry. Jerry actually came in my LA. I think they're talking about Jerry Gollings.
That's not his last name.
Oh, well, what is? Sorry, I always mix up his. Anyway, yeah, he did our LA workshop. I've sat down and drank tequila at Jerry's house.
Did you work at Star Shots?
No.
Do you plan to write a book? Well, I don't think he'd be writing it.
Yeah, good luck reading anything I write, especially if I handwrite it. You think doctors are bad? You've seen nothing. A dyslexic person with a pen? Not going to work, Jan.
You've been thinking about doing a book.
I'm getting a little bit more serious about it,
yes.
Only because I put it off because I didn't think I was ready. I've still got more shoots to do, but I'm starting, there's a lot of stuff people haven't seen which would start to finish a book off. So yeah, cool. I'm thinking about it.
Oh, so we're thinking now. Are we planning a trip to the States? Yes, hopefully
definitely.
Later this year. Salt Flats or Southern Utah Red Rocks? Probably not, but that sounds really cool.
I'd love to do Red Rocks.
I don't know if that is that Red Rock. No, I don't think that's Red Rocks Amphitheatre.
Oh, is it?
No, I don't think so.
Not that. Well,
I don't think
Salt Flats is cool. I like Salt Flats.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like it.
Why not?
Burning Man would be better.
Oh, I'd love to go to Burning Man.
We were going to do that.
We were going to, maybe one day.
Someone released monkey virus or whatever it's called.
You should calm down on your ice cubes. I'm joking, don't calm down, it's fine. The cubes. Michael would like to know who are some of your favourite past and present photographers that you look up to? Helmut Newton, Peter Lindbergh, not Patrick D. Marcelli anymore, Avedon.
Pen.
Then
there's so many good photographers out there, but there's a couple that I just keep going back to their work. Like Gilly Spenceman's been doing some awesome stuff recently. It's sort of up and down. Russell James, I loved his older work, not as so big a fan on his new work, but his older work I absolutely adored. It's hard, it varies a bit, but I've got this beautiful book collection that I hardly ever look at anymore because I'm too friggin' busy. But every now and then I will just sit down with one of the books and go, oh, I've still got so much to learn.
No, you don't. You're pretty good.
No.
Right. Jeff bought, I think it's Jeff, bought a 7 Artisans 50mm after seeing you play with it.
I hope he likes it.
Yeah, he says he loves it.
Yeah, I can't believe, especially, I haven't used it much. Well, I can't say any much. It's coming out in the video that we've got doing something, but the first few shoots I used it pretty wide open, and I loved it as a fully wide open lens, but I have played with it since not wide open, it still cut it.
Don't you usually refer to gear setup as a kit informally down under rather than an outfit? We do, but I guess Peter said outfit before because I don't know why. Ages ago you said something about the cheap gear, you said it was an outfit.
Oh, I say things without thinking. Who knows what, and yeah, I'm creative, I can change my mind. That's what I say to Beck whenever she says I've changed my mind.
How much money do we pay professional models? Every model has different rates.
Different rates.
So
It
you can't.
It really depends. So in Australia, normal shooting rates, some of the agencies are now going as low as what? One said the other day, 75 an hour, which is just ridiculous. I think the bigger agencies, like if you push them, they'll come down to 125 to 150 an hour. But I think the standard's still more sitting at the sort of 250, then through to the higher end models start sort of 5 to 1,000. But a lot of it goes to usage, right? How the picture's going to be used, when it's going to be used. That's where the big money comes in. So if it's going to be on billboards in Sydney for 6 months, it might be $60,000 for that picture. So that really, really varies. But the hourly rate, yeah, unfortunately, like it was like Tisha, when I first shot Tisha, she was $7.50 an hour doing commercial lingerie. So for lingerie companies, for ads, she was $7.50 an hour. And that was like 12 years ago.
So I'm just reading, everyone's telling me how cold it is all over the world.
It's not cold, it's hot actually.
No, but they're all over the world.
Although my drink's gone all icy. You idiot.
It's like 0 degrees in New York. It's like super hot.
New York,
You know,
pizzas. Imagine a
don't.
pizza in the cold in New York.
Stop it. I was there in the cold one year.
I know, 3 in the morning, walked out in the miniskirt
I
and
said
walked
there,
27 blocks.
No, I didn't. Stop it.
Stop it. Rays. It was Rays, wasn't it?
So annoying sometimes.
So annoying.
I swear. Where was I? Now I've lost where I was because I was.
Isn't it where you highlight?
No.
Oh. She doesn't do it. See, I need an assistant to do this.
No, you do. What are your views on Starshot's Makeover Studio? They've gone bankrupt now. Just wondering your views on retail photography like that.
All right, so I'm not going to mention his name, but I got a friend who runs that type of business, and he calls it shoot and burn. Now, anybody in the early days of transitioning from film to digital, shoot and burn was a horrible word. It meant you would go there, shoot the wedding, burn it onto a CD and give them all the images. So you didn't get to pay for prints or wedding albums or anything like that. But he twisted this round to shoot, then burn the client. And what that means is you get the client in on any way you can get them in the door. You do, 45 minutes of hair and makeup, 45 minutes of shooting, 45 minutes of selling, and they're not allowed out of the door till they'd spent $5,000. So what they called their break even was $2,500. And at $2,500, the cost for that shoot was $500, which means the owner of the studio made $2,000 profit. And if they could burn you to $5,000, he now made $4,000 profit. So rather than shooting someone and getting a referral, but now he has to do another shoot, he can get 2 shoots worth of profit in one, and there's enough people in the world that you can shoot them, then burn them. And on the wedding side of things, his standard wedding package was, I think, around about 4,000 or 5,000. He only used to costing about 1,000 to do the album, all that stuff. But his push was to burn them to $10,000, which was the equivalent of 3 referrals. And that's how they work. They don't work on repeat business. They work on get you in and get every cent out of you, and every salesman trick,
sit you down there, give you champagne, put fluffy music on, blow it up big, use soft filters on everything, suck you in, just say, you would hate us to delete this photo if you didn't buy it. So all of this emotional crap, oh, we've got payment plans, and you've got people walking out there that can't afford to buy a $200 pair of runners for their child, but just spent $5,000 on a portrait of themselves that looks like plastic, and then 6 months later, they won't even hang it on the wall because it doesn't look like them.
A similar thing happened to one of my friends. His sister got contacted. I'm not going to go into too many details because I don't want to identify who it is, but they got sucked into this whole thing, and at the end of it my friend was there and he got really upset with that when they started proposing, well, you've got to pay this much and this much and this much, so they ended up walking out. He then called me because they still really wanted the photos. They were going to get photos of them two to give to their parents, so and his sister was all upset, so he's like, hang on, I know someone I can call. Gave me a call because he's a good friend of mine. He's like, so how much does Peter charge? And I just went through, this is what Peter charges for photography, for retouching, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yep, too easy, in the new year, let's book in a Friday, I'm so happy. And he's happy to pay the money, he has a really good job, but it's just the way they went about it that's what put him off.
Well, it's like the gift voucher. Here's a $500 gift voucher. Oh, sorry, hair and makeup is $500.
Yeah, so he got really put off by the way that they conducted their business. It wasn't that he wasn't being like,
we're up front. We just say to somebody, this is my hourly rate, and this is how much it's going to cost. We reckon it's going to take 2 hours, and there's no upsell. If you want a print done, prints, we charge you the cost of the paper and ink for that size, and we charge $2.20 an hour for the retouching to the level you want it retouched. And if you don't want anything crazy, normally, Peter, to retouch an image is only 5 to 10 minutes max. So when they start doing that, then they look at the figures they were offered to get an A4 print and some little, what they used to call wallet photos.
Oh, yeah.
They just go, this is just incredible. I charge the same commercial rate I charge to shoot Harley Davidson lights or bike racks or dog stuff.
Stop bringing it up.
That was a fun day. I changed the same rate to everybody. This is my rate to pick up a camera and shoot for an hour. If you want my artistic input, my rate is this.
Yep.
And
if you want retouching, my rate is this. If you want a print versus something, it's easy. It makes
anyway,
my life
I
easy.
think we've long answer short. Yeah, the reason they're bankrupt and the reason most of them don't exist anymore is because things like COVID and that make it very hard for them to do any trade, and they need that high turnover of new people.
I've saved this Sound Studio's details because they do a show on audio production. Would like to collaborate at some point, so I've saved their details.
Yeah, cool. So yeah,
he's right into his audio stuff, so I've saved your details.
I even said today with our podcast, I wanted to find, even though I'm a sound engineer, I did that when I was 18. I haven't been in the band since I was 25, and so much shit has changed. Even though I write now and that, the microphones and... anyway.
So I've popped down your details in my to-do list, so we'll contact you after we're finished being live. Yeah, we'll talk the talk. Am I too old to begin this career? I'm 45 and had to put my life on hold for a while.
No. Kentucky Fried Chicken, I think, started at 58. Colonel Sanders started his first Kentucky Fried Chicken at like 58 or something. It's old. There's never too late, and as long as you are passionate and just do what you want to do, you should stand out really quickly. You'll either be really, really shit, or everyone will love you.
Yeah. What can we do to ask YouTube to support regular live sessions like this one? It's not so much YouTube that needs us, it's us having the time. This takes about an hour and a half of setup, and then we'll probably sit here for about 3 hours.
No.
So it's more so us having the time to do it.
We're going, all right, so my plans, and I haven't spoken to Rebecca about this, so she's going to pull funny. My plans is once a month we will be going back to doing a live. We can't do once a week.
No.
We're going to be doing a podcast once a week.
Okay.
But our live will be a podcast.
Okay.
The podcast is really quick and easy for Beck and I to do.
We just have to talk.
We're just going to talk shit. We literally are going to talk crap. We're going to get on and have no idea what we're going to talk. No one's going to be asking us questions.
It's just
we're
going
just
to
going
be
to be us talking. So
we
with
hope
this,
you like us.
Yeah. So that is definitely what we're going to be doing once a month. The last couple of years has been so hard for us to realign our business, and things have started to fall into place, and things like that little plaque has meant YouTube has now become like a 10 to 15% of my business model now.
Yeah.
It's become a good part of my business that we think we need to nurture. What do you? Oh, you're going to hold
people,
it.
For people that weren't here at the
beginning.
beginning, if you just joined us, thank you, because like we feel special. It's all shiny. It's so. It's a mirror. Hell
mirror.
Yeah, I love this.
You know, I can get another one. You can buy them, and I could get your name put on it.
No, it's not about me.
You could hang it next to your
What am I
beauty
doing
table.
passing this to you? I'm going to take this, assistant.
Yeah, so with that, we will be putting more effort.
And the other thing is, the whole idea of Inspire was basically, there's only so many hours in a day, there's only so many countries we can get to run workshops.
Yeah.
Our workshops are expensive, out of price for anybody in like places like Spain and things like that, get too expensive. So we did Inspire, so people who didn't have much money could go on once every 6 months, spend $25, $30 and look at everything that we've done in 6 months and try and learn off us. The YouTube thing is now that people are happy to put up with ads that will pay for our time.
Unless you have YouTube Premium.
Yeah, but we still get paid.
Yeah, I know, but that doesn't matter.
Money.
That doesn't matter.
So it gives these levels of where we can help everybody, because unfortunately some of the people with the least money in the world are some of the most creative people in the world. So I'd love to help them more than someone who can go out and buy a full kit of Leica and not know why. I'd rather help somebody who shoots with what I shot with the other day and takes amazing. Well, it's like our mutual friend.
Ah, yes.
My favourite Australian photographer, is so talented, and didn't matter what you put in her hands, you get the most amazing pictures.
Yes. Getting noticed. We running a workshop in Sydney. We are at the end of March. 27th.
There'll be a link there for our workshops page. So Melbourne's nearly sold out, isn't it?
Melbourne is sold. Melbourne Portfolio Builder, which then means 4 days sold out. So you can only come to Natural Light Studio or Advanced Studio, but Sydney 3 days, it's available to book. Brisbane is still available to book as well, if you want to see the craziness in 3D. And we will be running workshops all over the world, hopefully this year.
We've already got tentative dates for Zurich and Europe. Yeah. We're just waiting for things.
We're waiting to see how things go.
What the new Johnny Walker virus is going to do.
Oh my God.
Well, Corona, I thought we'd go to a more nasty.
So not funny.
I was just looking at your fingers doing this movement. Yeah, there you go. You're going to answer.
But I know that people. No, I was just going to quickly chime in and say I know people are going to start asking us to please come to this place and please come to this place. It's really hard for us to get everywhere. We've got to look at demand.
We need models.
We need models and demand.
We need studio.
And demand.
And we need
people.
Enough people on the ground that pay the amount that we need to go there because travelling is so expensive.
Yeah. So we can't go everywhere, but we will be trying to get to a lot of places anyways. Oh, Peter, you get asked this all the time. What's your favourite photo you've ever taken? You don't have one.
Beck,
no.
in a red dress. A colour picture of Beck, by far.
Oh no, I thought we were really caught up.
What's my favourite kid? As much as my daughter thinks it's her and my son thinks it's him, it's the brother and sister they don't know about. I'm joking. No, there's pictures that mean something to me because there's the story behind the photo. So in the picture, other people aren't going to see that, so don't know the story that was behind it. But my Meaning of Life picture with Anne was one of my favourites.
Yeah, which we can't show because of
we can't show YouTube will limit us.
I missed this. Someone asked earlier if I would ever shoot you half naked.
If you gave her a gun, she would. Without a problem. But I think if she saw me half naked, she would shoot me.
Absolutely not.
That'd be so uncomfortable.
That would be so weird.
So I'm just getting some more
Sorry,
Coca-Cola.
I'm kind of shook from that. I did not even see that question. Sorry, wow, my brain's doing all kinds of things today.
Well, that's messed her up now. All she can think of is me half naked. Stop it, Beck.
Okay, I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying to read. Have we ever thought about shooting in some place in Brazil? I'm not too sure where that place is, but Peter has been to Brazil.
I've been to Brazil.
before.
I went to Sao Paulo, I've been to Rio, I've been to, it's a Cupertino or something. They're 3 places I've been. Brazil was very hard. For me, to get in Brazil, it took an hour and a half for them to document all my camera gear and take all the serial numbers off every single lens and that, and then on the way out it took 2 hours to match that back up. I love Brazil, absolutely adored it. I was scared shitless when I was in Rio. Just that when I was, one of the days I was there, some gang went onto the beach and basically paid the cops to stay away for 15 minutes and robbed every single person on the beach. If you couldn't take your ring off your finger, it got cut off.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Yeah,
That's
so
horrifying.
it did scare me that a bit. But
Could you imagine how?
But then Sao Paulo, which is supposed to be really dangerous, I was shooting at 2 in the morning out in the streets. But there were security guards on every single building, so there was a machine gun next to it, like, sort of.
Anyways. Where is the glass of wine? It's a mug of wine today.
A mug of wine.
How do you deal with irritating art directors interfering with the shoot?
Try not to work with them. I do less and less. When was the last time we had? I know. You can't touch that button.
Ugh, I shouldn't have tied my hair
When
up.
was the last time we had an art director with you?
Last time we had an art director.
We had that person from Birch come out.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. The last, it's been.
A lot of,
Yeah, I don't know. It's more, I find, hair and makeup artists or stylists that now think it's their shoot that then take over the direction.
What I did find with art directors and with the bigger companies.
Actually, not so much hair and makeup artists, more stylists that think it's their shoot.
You could see that the art director's ideas are completely dumb, and you could see that they were getting paid way too much money for not having a clue what's going to work commercially. I found as if I pulled them aside and told them some suggestions, they would be so not up to date with the world. They just thought what I told them, this is amazing. And I'd run out to the client and say, I just had this thought. And all of a sudden the shoot would go great. The client loved the art director for having that thought, and I was just a good photographer. But if I brought it up in front of the client and the art director, it was a stupid, dumb idea. Would you just take photos? I learned very quick to get photos that were awesome was pull the art director aside and secretly talk to them about what might work better and so forth, and it made these shoots much more bearable.
My mum just tried to call, sorry, I just need a
But
quick
I still prefer, my favourite shoots is when I get clients of whatever size of client trust me just to work. We don't need any of that stuff, because the amount of times we'll be doing a commercial shoot and I'll just change it 180 degrees because I can see this is just not working, this is not going to sell clothes, or this is crap. But I just saw this, if we do this and this and this and we shoot the shot, and it's awesome. You can't do that with art directors.
Yeah.
There needs to be 400 meetings first.
Regarding your 50mm discussion of favourite lens, was that on a medium format body or a 35mm body?
Oh, when I did that, that's a YouTube on, it's a thing on YouTube, so you can look it up. That was just on a Sony A1, so just a normal 35mm. Yeah, I wouldn't do it on a, there's not enough people shooting medium format.
No.
Yeah, that was just base, and it still didn't matter the length. I could have done the same thing on 85s or 35s. It was just I had a whole heap of different 50mm lenses from all different prices.
They just said, never mind, you answered the question right after they pressed enter.
That's all right, we got 2 answers now.
And every lens in the bag shoot could be a masterclass? That would take so long.
Well, I was going to do every lens I could find with Sony
Okay, that could be cool.
and just shoot them the way the lens needed to be shot. So not just stand in one spot and shoot them all from there. Actually shoot each lens for its merit for what it was designed for. So a really good bokeh lens, shoot it open. A really good lens that was better at f8, shoot it that way. But then have a look back at the pictures afterwards and decide what lens is actually me. What is my look?
We've got that cool one on Inspire where you show you got shaders stay in the same place and you went through all the different lengths. And
as well as heights.
No, the one just not before you did the heights, you just went through one of her face and then you like showed how distorted
like everything from like 16 mil right out to 200 or so. Oh, we think we're at the 300.
It was so good.
It was amazing how much it changed her face though, wasn't it?
It was really kind of strange. Thoughts on mirrorless cameras? He loves them.
So love them for natural light. Still with using flash, I'm still finding it, I can still get great shots, I just not as comfortable. I'm so much more comfortable with my Haas using flash because what you see through the lens is the ambient light you've got and I'm not waiting for the flash to go off. And some of the mirrorless lenses when it's trying to do that stuff, it doesn't quite work for me. But still, anything to make my job easier. So when I'm looking through a viewfinder, I can see, I'm eyeballing out my highlights. Oh, that's out of focus. I see it straight, that's all I want. I don't care about the numbers. I don't care at what shutter speed I'm at. If it's showing you an overexposed and I go, click, it's now or not overexposing, that fixed my problem straight away. I don't have to take a picture and then say, oh, I'm overexposed.
Yes, it makes your life easier.
Yeah.
Just watched the Layla video, really helpful, thank you. You are welcome. And we've got another one with Layla coming really soon. We just shot with her the other day.
I've been trying to edit it for the last 3 nights and my life has got in my way, otherwise it would have already been up.
Layla, not Abby.
Layla.
Why do you keep getting the two sisters confused?
Because I don't know, they've got the same mum and dad. They do have the same personality, don't they?
They really do.
They really are the same person.
But we did our second shoot.
Name.
They are. We did our second shoot with Layla on Monday.
Yeah.
And she's just come up like so. She's incredible.
So she walked out last time. So she came last time there, walked out there. She walked in here, there, and then left here. So she did really good.
She's awesome. So that'll be
coming out most likely not next week, the week after.
Yeah, it'll be a little bit. But you'll like that as well. And Leica M11 for studio, any good?
I wouldn't be buying it. No, it wouldn't be something I'd be buying for a studio camera. It's definitely if I was buying it, it'd only be a natural light camera. But again, I'm going to, when things settle down a little bit, again, I want to see if I know I love Leica lenses. I have a few. I just want to see what the experience is like now. I've shot them on film and they were fine, but I think now, especially the rangefinder, I just don't think it will suit. I want to be a little bit quicker, and I don't think I can be the speed I want to be. So, because I'm not posing a model and freezing, I want them to freestyle and then grab it. Yep. So, but I want to hire I think it's a Q2 or what. There's one which is a fixed lens. That looks a little bit interesting. I'll have a play. I'd only get it in a monochrome, and I definitely want to have a play. I've played with the 10 as monochrome. I liked it, but I still found that on the shoot I was on with someone who didn't move super quick, I still felt I missed badly, missed to the point I couldn't use the images, maybe 50% of the pictures. And I think some of those pictures would have been the die-for shot if I had a mirrorless with focus peaking on rather than using that. But like I said, I need to play. From now on, I'm not going to order anything without playing with it first.
Yeah.
Seriously not. It's just, even though I can bury it within my business, my expenditure allowance for new gear so I can keep progressing, Beck just blew that because she's made me buy her a new laptop.
I didn't make you do anything except bring me wine to the studio.
Yeah. P.S. The The new MacBook 16 M1 chip
It's so
to the hilt.
fast.
It is so fast. It's such a
good.
great computer.
So I get one soon?
You get one soon.
Okay.
Right, next.
Do you deal with any brand or company? Well, you're a Hasselblad and Zeiss ambassador.
And Ilford.
And Ilford.
But I still, they're all those companies, I was using their product before I was ambassador.
Yeah.
So when Hasselblad came to me, I already owned everything I needed. I got nothing Zeiss. I already owned the lenses I wanted. So yeah, but that I don't like. In the future, I don't know what'll happen with that. I think I might even. Because Zeiss are I feel Zeiss are backing out of camera lenses, are going to video more. So I think, I don't know, a couple of years' time, I might just decide just to be me, and then I can just say whatever I freaking feel like.
Fair
I don't
enough.
have to just, I'm not going to say something.
Fair
Although if
enough.
something was really bad, I say it anyway. So whenever something's not working, I don't care what brand it is, I'll just
Just say it, yeah, you always speak your mind. Someone said before something about how they like that you just like speak your mind and
Get in
It's
trouble, yeah.
it's alright, I kind of did that. I haven't told you, I kind of, I went a bit overboard the other night.
Oh, did you? You
Talk
spoke
about-
your mind. You told everyone how bad your boss was.
No, we'll talk about that off live. Anyways, what's your favourite food? Mine's pizza or burgers.
Proper Mexican and steak. Then pizza and burgers.
How do you choose the aperture of the session? What are the thoughts you have when you decide to shoot
All right,
2.8?
so in the studio, it's really simple. I find that around f8, f9 on the medium format or even on the Sony is giving me what I want. When I go to natural light, it depends on the background and depends on how much detail I want within the face. So if I just want the eye sharp and soften off everything, I'm just going to go as open as I can. But a lot of my favourite shots in natural light are still sitting up around f8. I'll jump up to 800 ISO because in the studio with natural light I can set up my background so I don't have to worry about destroying it. I do like that fully wide open look that you get in really bad areas like we did in the car park and that. But I also find it's an overused look. I find like Danny Diamond, it's a signature look of his, and so 1,000 people have jumped onto that look.
Like the full wide open with the bokeh.
Fully wide open with the bokehs.
I
and
love
things
that
like I know, but it's like I like it for some. Like I use that if the background's ugly.
Yeah.
But if the background's not too bad, I'd rather not. Like with Rara the other day.
Yeah.
Was thinking no, and I pulled it back to I think 6.3, but just found I was having that look. I don't want that look. I want to
fair.
have
That's fair. Oh, Jeff would like to know where the first place on the tour will be once we start up again.
Melbourne. Well, it is.
Overseas.
Overseas, it will most likely be
Zurich. It was. Are things with COVID and lockdowns as bad in Australia as they're portrayed in the media? Look, I don't like talking about COVID because we are in, like,
The next person does though.
Peter. I can't stand you sometimes.
Media is media, all right?
Yeah.
So we will have a small storm, and next minute my mum's ringing me from Cairns going, "Are you all right? Are you still alive?" I think, oh, it's just a little storm.
Peter's mum lives in the north of Australia, by the way.
And vice versa, they get cyclones up there, and I'll say, "Mum," and she goes, "Oh, I didn't even know there was a cyclone up here." So,
But things were pretty bad here.
oh, well, yeah, but we're not talking about that. We were.
I was just going to say that, yeah, they were, but
we were the
it's-
heaviest lockdown city in the entire world with the least amount of cases in the entire world. So,
the
and we've
least
still
amount
got
in the entire
states in
world.
Australia who still think that they can be zero and have locked everybody out of the state. And they had one case, now everyone has to wear a mask for one case. But don't get me started. I think there's a new movie, Don't Look Up, and I think that summarises up what media and what politicians are like today.
Yes.
End of story.
End
Just
of
watch
story.
that and then you'll know my views on where the world's going.
Where's the next question?
It's a good movie, by the way. I liked it. Beck hated it.
I've never watched it.
Oh, Beck's boyfriend hated it.
He didn't hate it. He said he didn't hate it, and he didn't think he wouldn't go out and rave about it. He said it was an enjoyable movie to watch, and he liked it, and he thought it was good.
And you didn't watch it?
I was away in Broken Hill visiting my elderly grandmother.
Ringing your boss at 2 in the morning.
It wasn't 2 in the morning. I called you for Christmas because your Christmas got cancelled. Felt sorry for you.
That's right, I was cancelled to prove it.
Both, do you have a contract to work together? Do we? I don't think we do. I don't know.
Well, I've got dyslexia, I wouldn't be able to read it anyway.
I don't think we do. We must do. Surely we do.
No, we're just under normal. I employ her.
Yeah. We have
She turns up, I give her money.
Cool, I need to pay myself today, actually.
Oh, I hope there's money in the account for you.
There will be. Don't pull that. Have you ever done music videos or thought about doing them?
I love music videos. We've done a few, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. But something along the lines of George Michael's Freedom music video, like glamour flashing video. Flashing, I just said flashing.
So that Duran Duran's video. Oh,
Girls on Film?
No, the one they brought out recently, and they had all the supermodels playing Duran Duran. Girls Talk, I think it was called. Yeah, Naomi Campbell, all of those were actually playing Duran Duran, and Duran Duran were playing bellhops and chauffeurs, and awesome. Yeah, love that stuff. But oh my God, if I was able just to shoot with those models, stuff the band video, they can piss off. I just want to shoot them. Yeah, I love music video, absolutely love. We have paying clients that pay us good money to do their videos, and we do enjoy them. And there's people I would do videos absolutely for nothing, and they're too useless to even come up with a decent song, so I can create the most amazing. Well, no, there's people out there that the offer's out there, and then they go out and do something shit, and I wouldn't charge them for it because it's what I love. I love my music, and I love putting visuals with music.
For sure. Have you ever done a shoot in IR or considered converting one of your cameras? Is that?
Infrared, yeah. I had one of my cameras converted to infrared and did one shoot, never shot with it again. So it was a novelty, fun thing, but it's not. It more suits landscape.
Apparently,
I made an IR LUT to go in ACR, so I can bring a picture in from either my Hasselblad or Sony, and it nearly looks IR with the LUT, but again, wouldn't use it.
Yeah. I have excellent social skills and believe models will be comfortable around me. Fun fact, I grew up in Saudi Arabia and I moved around a lot as a kid, so from a very young age I've learnt that I have to just be social. That's what I had to do. Getting shifted around. And then also, I guess, with modelling and with my job, I'm just used to meeting people. Like, I'm used to new people. It's just been a part of my life since forever, really. So I'm just...
That, and you've just got used to being you. And I think as soon as people see you're just you, they're relaxed about you, so it just only goes one way.
I am me.
To the fridge.
What is your opinion on all the hype around film photography and how of...
Hype around which?
Film photography.
Yeah, film photography around for years. It's still great, but commercially it's not viable. It's that simple. I had a client that wanted to do a whole shoot on 8x10, and I said, yeah, I'd love to do that, and gave him the price it was going to cost him. And it was $30 per click, just for the developing and the film. And he just said, oh shit, this is gonna... I said, who are you doing this for? I just want to say this was all shot on 8x10. I said, do you think one of your suit clients give a shit? Because I can make it feel like 8x10 in the tricks I know. So if you have a passion for it because you're a photographer, I can see it. But if you think you're going to sell more suits because of it, you're not going to. And the shoot's going to cost like 5 times more money, and it's going to take 2 to 3 months, not 2 to 3 days. So anyway, I love film. Beck knows I've got film backs from a Hasselblad.
You've got rolls in the film.
The fridge has still got heaps of film in there. I've got a film scanner. I've got all of that. But commercially, it's just not viable. It just, People want stuff yesterday.
Yeah. We think it's hot here. It's 40 degrees over in Perth.
Yeah, but Perth has the Fremantle doctor.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. It's probably some really bad joke.
No, it's a legit thing. At 3:30 to 4 o'clock, the wind turns around to a sea breeze and cools everything down.
Oh, I thought you were going to make some bad joke.
That's why it's called the Fremantle doctor. It comes
See,
from that
this is
direction.
like the bloke who cried wolf. Like, you tell so many bad jokes. I think well, do you know what this is? I
But yeah,
think
but you
he's
know what
gonna
that
make
means?
some
If
bad
they're
jokes.
40 degrees over there in 4 or 5 days,
No,
we're
we're
going to
get
have
it
here.
here. Fantastic.
But we'll get it with a bit of humidity. You don't have humidity. Anyway, you're stuck there. Ha. No, I shouldn't say
Don't be
that.
like that. You're so nasty sometimes.
Well, they won't let Tisha get back and see. Tisha's mum, who's now a grandmother, has not seen her grandchild.
That
It
is
was
really
born
sad.
in October, I think.
I don't know.
So Tisha could get back from Germany to Australia and still can't get her. Still, in that time, still her mother has never seen her only grandchild.
Yeah,
That
that
stinks.
sucks.
Anyway, next.
Anyway, what is your technique for posing a model's legs on full body shots, sitting or standing?
If it looks ugly, I tell them to move it. I don't.
Technical.
With posing, it's visual. If it looks good, I shoot it. If it doesn't look good, I get them to change it.
Yeah. Fashion you do direct a bit though.
I do, but I love awkward.
Yeah.
Like good high-end fashion is awkward, broken. If you think about broken models, like if you think of stick insect,
Yeah.
you know how they're sort of weird and that's high-end fashion. Or spider with one leg amputated. What are you looking at?
I don't know if there's a public freak out happening.
There's not a public freak
I
out.
love public freakouts. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. You do love the awkward, broken kind of look.
Yeah, but
and-
that's high-end fashion.
Yeah, I know.
It's like everyone watches high-end fashion catwalks and go, that's dumb, nobody'd wear that. But that's not supposed to be. It's the essence of what the label's doing.
Exactly.
It's like
And also-
concept cars. They come out,
Yeah.
and you never see that car ever hit the street, but it shows you
Yeah.
directions.
That they're going in, yeah.
Yeah, they're only going to use 10% of what they showed you.
Ben would like to know if you think there's any value in using business cards these days. It seems there's an expectation that a photographer has them, yet they're such a throwaway item.
I have a business card. I got a business card out today.
I think they're handy. I've got
That's
a...
the first one I've given out in years.
No, but I think like I get a few of them for like makeup artists and stuff, which
I
I think
think
are
what's
handy.
more handy is get your website, get a QR code off your website, and have a QR code on your phone. And when you see someone, just get them the QR code, your phone's QR code. They're straight on your website.
Yeah, but
That
then
to
what
me
if
is the best.
what if they
Don't have a phone?
no? What if they get out of that and then they want to go back to your website?
What do you mean?
Like, so that's only going to last while they're physically there in front of you. What if they close that tab and they go away and they want to, like, oh, who
They'll
was
have
that
a history.
photographer?
They'll have a history.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. No.
They've got a history, they'll find it.
Yeah, no. I was just
And they can go on the website
hypothetically-
and they can go save.
I was just being hypothetical.
Hyper.
Do
You
you?
need some
Sorry.
more wine.
I do. I need to.
Yeah, to me, lots of people getting all right. So if you're going to have business cards, make steel ones.
Deal.
Steel.
That's going to be so expensive.
You don't hand that many out. You should only be handing it out to someone who is going to be a client, not someone. Oh, I'm a photographer. Here's my card. It should be someone who's actually going to book you. It's like the new Amex steel card. It's freaking awesome. And I think someone gave me a steel business card the other day.
Really?
And it was really cool. He was just a super salesman. I didn't like him, but well, he wasn't selling me anything I'd buy. I think it make it different. So and I've always said that with business cards, make them different. And even I don't
Well,
have them there.
you can explain what you used to do.
On my business card, it has a QR code.
No, what you
on-
used to do with the photos.
All right, with my old clients, so I'm talking about more family portrait, or come shoot my dog, or they come in with a newborn, or any of the early stuff I did when I'd shot weddings, parties, anything, was the best shot of the shoot. I had a little, what's it called? Action made up that I would just have that picture there and hit my business card action, and it would make me an A4 sheet of their picture on my business card. I'd print it out on a good thick card, cut it up,
and when they paid me invoice, I'd post that out to them, and I'd have 10 my business cards with their photo on it. So they're never going to throw it away, and they love sharing it. So they would hand it to their friends. That instantly that got all my details handed to people around them, and they only handed it out because they loved their picture, which means they only spoke good things about my photography when they handed it out. So that was a bonus. But things like business cards, like anything, you want to stand out. So if you've never had a metal business card handed to you, so I'm talking about it, so imagine that the person you hand it to will most likely talk to, hey, this photographer gave me this metal business card the other day. Another really cool business card could be an old tranny, an old slide. That could be really cool. Have a slide business card they could hold up to the light to see a picture. Just think out of the box, something that they're not going to throw away because it's too cool.
Yeah, it's a good way of
A
putting it.
Rubik's Cube business card.
Oh my God.
So they've got to get all it back in to be able to find your phone number again.
That sounds really frustrating.
Lego business card, there you go. Everyone
Jared
loves
would love
Lego.
that. Jared would love that. Do you ever outsource your retouching?
You shut me down, of course. No. Can you see Picasso getting to 90% finished on a painting and just go, I'll send this to India to be finished. They do it for $5. I'm not picking, but there's so many retouchers that come from India because they get paid $1 a day. They can do equivalent of $1,000 worth of work, even at the low rate they charge out at. So a lot of that comes from, no, not in a million years. My work, the people who book me for my work want my work. We don't do weddings and that anyway, but even if I did weddings, even my daughter's wedding that my assistant shot, I did Jess's wedding, a neighbour forever. I still retouched that, but 90% of the pictures are hardly retouched. They were as shot because that's what they wanted. A capture of the day.
They don't want it
and
pushed.
this is a beautiful capture of their day. They don't want it manipulated. I did do quite a few in black and white, but
Whereas if I ever get married, I want to kind of be a bit of...
that's why I won't be shooting you.
No, I know you won't. I'll probably get something. Anyways, if and when that ever happens. Anna's here. She says hello and she misses us. Hello, Anna.
Hi Anna, we got to catch up.
We do have to catch up with Anna. It's been ages. And now I just lost where we were. Oh, there we go. Has there ever been a point where your skills as a photographer outclass your old trusty gear?
No. No, because it's not the gear.
Yeah.
It really is not. If anything, the lesser gear you have, the more skill you need to get the best out of it. So if you know that this is going to be really crap with low light, so you might have to go to a slower shutter speed than you really want to go, and you might have to go to a shallower depth of field than you really want to go because you know the ISO is crap. And then you have to be so skilled with getting it sharp. So yeah, no, I can't say it enough. The gear is toys for you to make you feel good. Your client, even though I couldn't turn up to a commercial shoot with an iPhone, my client would hate it. But if I said I want to get that influencer type of look, so let's shoot it on an iPhone, they would allow me to do that.
Yeah.
And Nick Knight's selling his iPhone pictures for like $30,000. So
What is it? Oh no, sorry, you keep going.
you want to have a cigarette, don't you?
I was gonna just...
You need to get me a long question. So
No,
you
I'll just stand over there and I can duck.
Kill me with passive
I can
cigarettes.
duck in and out.
Duck.
I'll duck in and out. How about that? I'll ask you, what is it about musicians and photography? Dev's a connection of some sort.
No, it's bass players, I think.
Really? No,
Because
I find it's
isn't
IT
Nicky
people.
Six
Is he a photographer?
No, he was out of Motley Crue who stole my photos.
No, that's not what he's saying. He's about
I
what
know,
is
but
it?
I'm talking to... I don't know. Yeah, I can't. It could be a creative thing.
I find most people that are getting in photography are IT or graphic designers.
Yeah, but do they make it as a photographer?
I don't know about
Or
if they make
just
a good
lots
photographer.
of money, and because IT is so non-creative, they need a creative output, and photographer, like not anybody can just pick up a pen, paintbrush and paint. but it doesn't take much. Like if you got someone with no skill in photography, I could set their camera up so they could just turn it on and get a reasonable picture every time by putting onto the right settings in auto, which allows them now to create.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know, but yeah, I still love the music. I got to write music the other day when I did the Steph thing, so that was fun doing that.
Oh, someone said before about the music that you did for Steph's, and I think they were complimenting you on it, actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, yes. I actually really enjoyed getting back to my old processes, and I started writing and I brought it back to the stills I had and started putting together, and then I went back to the second step of writing. I was just excited. I just flowed.
You do love your writing. Are you going to be at WPPI 2022? No.
I don't think they invite me because I'm anti.
Well,
I used to talk at Photo Plus in New York, and yeah, I got big crowds and that there, but WPPI, I think the wedding portrait market is so different to the way I think. There is wedding photographers that will be out of the square, but they're not tend to be the ones that go to the WPPI. The WPPI, and I'm not dishing on anybody who goes there, but I still find that a lot of the people in Australia who would go over there were either to enter their awards and hope they'd win something, so that's why they went over, or they wanted actions, they wanted processes, everything done for them, so they looked amazing, but it wasn't really their style. It was just like a dialed in style. And that's not me. I was in that sort of world for a little bit and I really did not like being in it. But I still did really well. I won the Australian Photographer of the Year and Fashion Photographer of the Year like 4 times. Does it mean anything to me? No. Those trophies are sitting somewhere.
They're up the top. Oh no, wait, they're at the back.
It didn't make me any more money, it didn't get me any more clients. And as much as I was honoured to win those awards, I'm so much more honoured that someone like David Bromley, an artist who contacts me out of the blue, who I really respect his art and love his art to bits, will contact me, want to collaborate with me, or who's the guy out of Harry Potter?
Tom Felton.
Tom Felton?
Yeah, he played Draco Malfoy.
Yeah, Tom Felton just sending me an Instagram message saying I love you, and he didn't, with gas bottles, he didn't need to do that, he just DM'd me and said I love your photography. See, that means more to me than any award in the world. It's just some random saying they like what I do, then I don't know, that's where it was last. Have you looked in my drawer as an emergency cigarette lighter for you?
No, I haven't. I'm coming back to ask you another question. I can hold off, it's fine.
You ask me next question and then you run to my drawer.
That's right. We need to do more taco lunch live streams.
Taco lunch?
We haven't done lunch, we did dinner, but...
We do dinners.
We do dinners, but the cooking ones are kind of hard. They're fun, but they're kind of hard because Peter's cooking and then people get annoyed with us eating.
Yeah, because we're crunchy. Or they get annoyed because we're drinking, expensive tequila and eating.
I don't care if they get annoyed at me drinking, but I know how annoying it is to listen to someone crunch, so I understand that.
Listen to someone crunch.
How often will you put up fresh Inspire subscription content? Our goal is 2 full tutorials per month, but it's been a bit hard because I've been on holidays for 3 weeks, but we have got 4 in the pipelines that we need to edit. We've just been filming like crazy.
Yeah, there's 4 filmed. I would say by the end of next week, there'll be 3 new ones on Inspire. Mm-hmm. There'll be 2 new YouTubes. We've got an exciting thing I'm just playing with at the moment for Inspire, but even Beck liked my idea, which means it might be good.
What do you mean? I like most of your ideas.
But anyway, so it's a new thing that we're going to bring to Inspire.
is going to make Beck and I very, very accessible 24/7.
Yeah, you guys will like it.
So yeah, it's stuff that we can pretty much one-on-one mentor anybody who's on Inspire.
Just jump
and
on,
it's got nothing to do with time zones or anything. And we're doing tests with it right now, and it looks friggin' amazing. So that'll go onto there. But it has been the whole COVID thing, lockdown, and all of a sudden we're open. And every frigging client I've ever worked with in the world, plus 10 new ones, wanted stuff done. And then Beck goes on her maternity leave, and now we're back into it.
No, not maternity. Gosh.
Didn't you tell anybody that you had a kid? You just sucked in a lot during the last 8 months.
You know what? I can't hit you because
No,
we're
you
online. Sometimes. All of the willpower and
You
work.
quickly find the question, I'll find your friggin'...
All right. Oh, quick. People are saying hello and thank you for the live stream. You guys are welcome. Thank you for joining us. We know it's been a while, but we will get back to doing these. I don't know if you heard Peter say probably once a month we'll be doing live streams. And a few people said that they did like the sound of a podcast. So we'll be doing podcasts once we figure that out. Lots and lots in the pipeline for this year. Peter did lots of research while I was on long-service leave. Let me find some questions from you guys. I'm sorry, we've been so behind. We love to talk. Burning Man isn't the greatest thing to be associated with, in my opinion. Thank you.
I want it back.
Of course you'll get it back.
I have to hide him in the studio because she always loses hers, and if I don't hide it, I don't get any work off her till she can have a cigarette.
Apparently Burning Man isn't the greatest thing to be associated with, but it could be a great photo op. Yeah, that's half the reason Peter wants to go.
Yeah, we'll be in the glamping area with the celebrities, so that's where we'll be going to do the photo shoots. We're not going there for all the other stuff. I think Becca's organised for us to have a Lear A380 jet plane. Is that what we're living in or something?
If we have enough money, obviously. Any tips for posing models with their hands? I far too often see claw hands, and even trying to guess Peter's very, very passionate about claw hands.
Hands, simple. I'm on the phone. I have a headache. I have a stomach ache. I have a toothache. Anything flat on the skin is horrible. So my hand posing is, if you go into the most expensive clothing shops in the world and look at the mannequins' hands, they are lady fingers. They're bent in the wrists. They're spirit fingers. So this type of stuff I teach models. If you're going to be a really good model, you're going to learn your fingers. They have to be teacup. It's got to be that little soft elegance. It can't be knuckles, and it can't be flat hands anywhere.
Flats are the worst.
Flats. So
Flats.
Yeah, again, if I say one of the things, and unfortunately there's too many scumbags out there. So there's dodgy photographers out there, and I hate them because it gives the industry a bad name. And I'm like the father of every model I work with.
You really are.
I'm protecting the models from those scumbags. But there's another thing that anything that feels like Men Magazine and things like that. Like Kate Moss can do it, but she's so anti-magnetic, she'll do it in a way that it doesn't feel that way. But what I say to a lot of models, if you want to learn how to pose, especially if you're going to be in fashion and beauty, there's going to be a lot of shots that you're going to look implied topless, mainly for skin and beauty and hair shots. They don't want to bring clothes in because it brings a style of a look in where they want the makeup or the hair to be the style.
Yeah.
So you're going to learn, I say get in front of a mirror, you never look at your face in the mirror, that's the worst thing a model can do. Look at your body, learn your shapes, and then when you learn the shape, you go, oh, that looks good. When you get into a photo shoot, you pull that shape and go, I know that's good. Your face has just gone amazing because you know it looks good. But learn to cover yourself without being flat hand, which means learn in a mirror how to cover yourself and keep it natural. So you can look down and still see yourself, but the way you use your hands and that will cover you. The other thing I normally say is that little knuckle there is a really good thing for nipples.
The wrist.
The wrist knuckle.
Wrist knuckle, yeah.
That little thing there. So by putting that on the nipple, you can now lift your boobs, separate them, bring them together, and then you can do some nice hands at the same time.
Exactly.
Or you can bring it onto this one and that one, and so forth. Your hands have to be soft and broken.
Yeah, broken.
Side on, not. And as soon as you go flat, your hand doubles in size.
Yeah, it looks gross. You always want it on the
Fronts
side.
and backs of hands are horrible. Sides are the best.
Yes.
And broken.
I pre-read the next
Sorry.
question while I'm
Oh, you
off to the
pre-read
side. The night shoot with Erica. I can't pronounce her last name. My Italian's horrible. But will we be doing another updated nighttime shoot?
We have. There's a Rara one.
Yeah, but they want an updated one.
No, I'm just letting. That's on YouTube though, isn't it?
I think we've got like a behind the scenes.
As behind the scenes little movie with music, isn't it?
Yeah.
So on YouTube, if you use YouTube like I use YouTube, so one of the ways I use YouTube, and I love YouTube, is I'll go to someone I'm subscribed to. I get off their homepage and hit videos. Then you can say bring it up in order.
Yeah.
Or you can bring up in most likes or whatever. So maybe with one, if you bring up in order and go right towards the end, there's a behind the scenes shoot I did with Tisha, which was the first time anybody saw the way that I work with flash and a model. And it's only from my band days and my shooting in nightclub days that taught me all these tricks. So that's a really good one to look at. There's a Rara one, which is a mixture of constant light and flashlight. In my Inspire and YouTube to do videos
Is another night.
I have got night shoots listed for both. Rara and I are doing a night shoot on the beach shortly, just using on-camera flash to get that surreal look. That most likely won't be up for about a month because we haven't shot it yet, and Rara's about to disappear back to Greece. So I've got to hurry up and shoot that.
The annoying thing with us at the moment is now it's warm enough to shoot at night, but we're in the middle of daylight saving, so it doesn't get dark until 9 p.m. here. So that means for it to be dark, we've got to wait until like.
And we're waiting for
10,
kids
11.
to get back at school, so the beaches are a bit more empty.
That as well.
So we're not going to start shooting at stuff till February.
Yes.
And in the last 2 years, we get to February and the weather goes crap and it's freezing.
Yes.
It's normally our hottest month of the year, except for the last 2 years.
But it's been hot this year. It's been good. It's been nice. I love the heat.
Nice.
It's nice.
Nice.
For both thoughts on plastic surgery, I love it. I'm all for it.
In
a way,
I was 100% against it. I think there is, if you watch Botched, 90% of the people on that, their people are just going to go bigger, 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 explode, then make it smaller so they can live. I'm not into that stuff. I must admit that I listened to something on a talkback show and I really, really liked what I heard. And it was basically the people who are photoshopping, so the influencers who are there using finger liquefaction on their bodies, face tunes and things like that, are the people who can't afford to pay for the plastic surgery to have them look the way they want to look.
Yeah.
They can buy the clothes they want, they can do the hair they want, they can do the makeup they want, but their face isn't who they want to be.
Yeah.
When it comes to plastic surgery, I'm not going to go into Beck's story, but 100% understand her story. But I've recently heard her go, maybe I wish I didn't.
I go through moods.
But it is. It's if something upsets you enough, there's a model, I'm not going to mention her name because she might want to mention, and her biggest hang-up was her nose.
Yeah.
And I said, if this is that bigger hang-up, take 3-6 months off, get it fixed and come back.
And
so she did.
And the confidence in
her was amazing. Is there anything wrong with her nose? No.
Nah.
Can I see any difference? No.
But she feels better.
She feels better. So for a mental side of things, if it's going to make somebody feel better about themselves, I don't have a problem.
Yeah, and I agree.
Just don't get triple J boobs.
But for my answer for that is, yes, if something makes you super uncomfortable and you don't like that about yourself, if you've got the money, fix it. But what I don't like is what a lot of famous celebrities do, and I haven't had anything done. I think just own it. Like, I'm very open about
if you had it done, you just say you've had it done.
Yeah, like I'm very open about it. And like but then when people ask me, oh, have you have you had your lips done? I'm like, yes, I have, and this is who I went to. And people are like, oh, thank you
Nobody
for letting me
even
know.
picked on your facelift that you had done.
But that's, I just think if you, I don't know, just don't hide it. If you're that, I don't know, I just don't think hide it. And also, if you want to fix something about yourself, fix it. I always say, if you weren't born with it, pay for it. But
I'm a little bit more of a natural thing, is that
No.
you don't have, like, the only time you have to look at yourself is in the mirror.
Yeah.
Everybody else still has to look at you all day, and if they don't have a problem with you, you shouldn't have a problem with you.
But if you have
If
a
you're a
problem,
dog, you wouldn't care.
yeah.
A dog spends 0 time wondering what it looks like. Because it doesn't know what it looks like. And I say to lots of models, imagine the anxiety lift if you didn't ever know what you look like. You wouldn't give a shit about hair, makeup, clothing, anything. You just love life.
But models do have to worry about that because they do see themselves. They do see
No,
photos.
so you girls don't realise that you look so much prettier just natural.
Well, the one thing that I like to, whenever any of my friends get insecure, I always say to them, look, you are so used to your features because you are so used to looking in a mirror and you've seen yourself every day for every day of your life, but you're so used to it that you don't know how beautiful you are to a stranger. And I like to tell people that to remind them.
I normally say to them, so if your best friend had the nose that you don't like on you,
wouldn't care.
Would you say anything? She goes, no, I love her for that.
Yeah.
I said, well, if she changed it, you'd say, no, don't do that. I love you for that. So,
Yeah.
and she has to look at you. You don't have to look at you.
That's how
I got a good one the other day.
What?
I was giving a friend of a friend some advice who wanted to get some boobs, but it backfired really badly.
Oh.
I just said, how would you feel if your boyfriend got a penis job and had double the size? And she goes, that would be awesome. Oh, failed. So it didn't work.
Oh my gosh.
Lucky she's not on YouTube. I hope she's not. Sorry.
So that's our views on that aspect. But away from that, speaking of your new table, what did you outfit it with? So.
Oh, so we're actually going to, I don't know if I was going to do it on YouTube. Well, yeah, no, I am doing it on YouTube. Yeah. So I spent last weekend redoing my office at home, redoing the table because I've gone to the new Mac.
I couldn't even pan the camera.
I don't need my old black rubbish bins anymore because this thing's like 10 times more powerful. I've changed my workflow, changed my setup, which is really cool, and it's so much quicker, and my workstation is so much better. So with this, I've just got a wind-up table up and down so I can stand or I can sit, because I don't have the best back in the world. I am running 2 LG monitors I bought through Apple, because even though I love the ISOs and things like that, the cost of them, and I don't need it. I'm color correct going in. If the color shifts a little bit on that, doesn't really matter because I'm not editing on these pictures. And if once I color correct, I know they're right. And they're great, they're 4K. So for me to get the equivalent 4K was going to cost me 5 times the amount of money, or 4 times the amount of money. So just running out, minimalised the desk, took everything off there I don't need.
Should I pan the camera or?
No, we'll do a thing. I'll do a thing.
We'll do a thing, sorry.
So, and with my home setup, I've completely changed how everything's laid out and set up. So it's easier for me to go from writing music to editing video to editing stills to cruising the internet and having the room I need. But yeah, the new MacBook has changed everything for me. I've even had to, I've had to buy another one because stupid me, I normally, whenever I buy a Mac computer, go there and tick every single box.
Oh, and you didn't do that.
Because then that'll proof me for about 4 to 8 years. Right, so one of the Macs was what, late 2013.
And we've only just got
rid of it. And the other one at the studio at home was 2014, and it coped fine till then because I had ticked all those boxes. When I came to this one, I ticked every box except the second last.
What was that?
Well, I went 4 terabyte storage, not 8 terabyte storage. So I then looked in upgrading mine to the 8, and it was like too hard and don't even go away. So Becca's just scored mine, and if I just ticked every box and put the 8 terabyte. So now I can travel everywhere, and I've got all my sound files sitting in. I don't have to carry extra hard drives for that.
It's really handy, actually.
It's actually so handy. The stuff that I'd always have to make sure I did a copied some things to take home, and that they're always, everything I do is always on there no matter where I go. So my whole workflow, which I'll talk about in a tutorial, has completely changed to a such easier workflow.
People actually liked your new workflow with ACR, by the way. I did remember someone saying that before. They liked.
Oh, the new one, but they don't know on YouTube about it yet.
No.
I haven't shown them.
Sorry,
Now
we're
I'm
being
going to have
so
to do it.
secretive.
They're going to hate us now.
We're so secretive.
We're trying to make you join Inspire. I haven't put it on YouTube because I need, well, number one, Inspire people are paying a lot of money to be on there. So in future, even though we do some stuff on Inspire and YouTube, which is the same shoot, the Inspire stuff normally is double to triple the length of time.
Yeah.
And there's normally stuff that can't quite go on to YouTube, which is open and goes fine on our own platform. In the future, it'll be a delay of about 1 to 2 months, and it will still be shortened to a nice short YouTube rather than 5 or 6 segments to show every little detail about it.
Yeah.
But it's taken me 2 years to be able to get a raw workflow from the Sony, which gives me my look easily. And I've done it through being able to build my red, green, blue channel, which are not in Capture One or ACR. I have now built a LUT, which I can trick ACR. It treats the picture as a color, but with the LUT on it, it's a black and white on the screen, but it's treating it as a color. So now I can use my green channel and manipulate it just like I do in Hasselblad.
So cool.
And yes, I will get a version of that in time up.
In time. Sorry, you have to wait. Joe would like to know, what is the proper way to print to make sure the images come out the exact size you want?
Well, I'm normally on my screen, I set the print to what I'm printing to. So if I'm printing 60 by 40, my image will be 60 by 40 before I take it to my print file. I think that's what he means.
I think so. Is there any new or innovative photography gear that either of us are interested in trying this coming year? I'm not a photographer, but Peter, it's so windy. I'm sorry if you guys can hear that annoyingness.
All right, so the stuff I'm going to rent, I'm definitely going to rent, I think it's called the Q2, the Leica Q2, which is a fixed lens, which does this crop mode, so it's 24, I think it is 35 and 70. I want to give it a try. I don't think I'll buy it, but I'm going to give it a try. I'm very interested in seeing what the M11 will do. Again, it's going to be a massive investment, and it won't be commercial, it'll be more private to get my look of a certain style. But it really has to give me that look that I want, otherwise not interested. I'm going to hire both the Sony 135 and 85 G Masters just to see if I like them or not. Just so I can run and gun some of my portrait work out in the fields better. My go-to lens for portrait is still my Otis 100 on the Sony. And I broke my 100 on my Hasselblad, which has been sent away. Yep, broke it. So I haven't got that at the moment. On the Hasselblad, I can't say much, but there's rumours of something coming. I'm interested in seeing what that's coming out. I was tempted, the new DJI video camera looks really, really cool.
Is that the gimbal thing?
Gimbally built in the camera, looks really cool. But after sitting there and thinking about it, I don't think I'd use it. It's too big and heavy. I think I'm really loving what the A1 or the A7s is doing just on a good gimbal or even handheld. I'm starting to get a bit over, I think this is going to make my job easy, and for some stupid reason I thought I could get these really cool shots out of iPhones and bought cases for it and did that, and then went and played with it and hated it. So Beck has to sell it on Marketplace. They weren't expensive, $35, but it was just sort of like...
Your case thing that I did, that guy that does the...
Oh yeah.
Peter...
Like the idea is good, but it's not good.
Peter bought this case for the iPhone, and it's like you put it in there and it's...
Small rig.
and you hold the side of it and then I was like, what's the point of this? And Pete's like, so I can hold it and then and I just grabbed his phone and held it with 2 hands. And if anyone's seen that guy who does the funny videos where at the end of it he goes, I did that to Peter. Pointless backstory. I just thought it was funny.
No, but how I was going to use it is more creative. I wanted to be able to swing through trees and things like that, whereas holding the iPhone. Shut up. Anyway, really, and we were going to do we actually went out to do a video shooting a commercial shoot on an iPhone, and we did with a client. Remember we had a client in here?
Yes.
And I shot the picture on iPhone and put it into the computer in RAW, brought it up, and the client goes, I would be 100% happy with that.
Yeah, I remember that.
But then we went out with Rara and I said, I hate this, I'm not doing this. This is not me. I'm only going, I show people what I do. I'm not saying I'm the best in the world, but people obviously following me say like what I do or they like what Beck looks like.
Or they like your approach to things, they like that you just...
Yeah, so I'm not actually saying do
BS.
what I do, but, because I do lots of stuff really badly, but
you just say this is what I do, and if
it works, it works. If it doesn't,
it doesn't. That's why when people ask you to do things, you're like, well, I mean, I could, but that's not what I do, so I'm not going to do that because it's not what I do.
Yeah, so we do get requests to do certain things, and if it's something that I would do, I'm happy to do it. But if it's something like, no, that's really not what I do.
Yeah,
it's not my look. So there'd be better photographers like gels.
Yeah.
If you want a gel shoot,
go look at Jay Kicks.
yeah, he's going to do it 100
amazing.
times better than me. If you want to find the best way to shoot super shallow depth of field at 85 or 135, go look at Danny Diamond. That's what he does. If you want to have that look that Sean Archer does, that's what he does.
Yeah.
Go have a look at those guys. I'm just showing you how I do what I do.
Exactly.
And you can turn my colours. You made me shoot colour twice in a row. We've got 2 colour ones coming up soon. You've lost your space again.
I know. I did see someone asked if we were going, yeah, there I am. Will we ever come to San Francisco? Peter's been there and I'm thinking maybe we will come back next time we go.
So I had the entity in the house. In fact, let's just stay at the same house. That was cool. The burrito place that we stayed, amazing. The burritos were just incredible.
So we actually might come back to San Francisco.
I like San Fran. Not that I didn't even see the bridge.
I've seen the bridge.
I haven't.
Where is my wine glass back? It is a mug today. I don't have my purple nails anymore. I got black nails.
Oh, they're pretty cool nails.
They're pretty cool, but my purple ones would have matched the glass.
Matte black with gloss tips.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet.
I still told her she needed to get the red on the underside.
We were thinking about doing
the
it.
Vuittons.
We were thinking about it, but we didn't do it. This is gonna
Indians.
NFTs. Are you tempted to do this with any of your images to create new and another income stream, or is it too soon? Pyramid scheme. Pyramid scheme. South Park did an amazing thing on it and I was crying with laughter because I've been saying for so long I think it's a pyramid scheme, and then the latest South Park special they did, they made a joke out of it saying it's a pyramid scheme, and that's all I think of NFTs as. So that's my 2 cents on that. I'll be quiet
In the
now.
early days I didn't understand, I still don't understand Bitcoin, but I didn't understand it. I then was asked to join into a project. I said, yeah, all right, nothing seems to have happened, so it hasn't cost me a cent or do anything. I've then listened to a couple of people like Gary Vee, Peter Hurley, the headshot guy, I love him to bits, so it's nothing against him. But what I am finding is the people that get in, create some NFTs and then sort of create this like, it's sort of like McDonald's when they do the Monopoly and there's 2 things you cannot get and they're worth a fortune.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. They're getting people to collect all this other shit and pay for it on the chance of getting something that's going to be worth a fortune. And all it is, and Gary Vee, Gary Vee is so, I've listened to too much of his stuff actually. And he drives me up the wall because he says the same thing over and over again, but I still learn stuff from him. But I really got annoyed when he was talking on these NFTs. He was interviewing an artist about it. But Gary Vee went out 2 weeks earlier and bought some of this artist stuff that really didn't have that big a following. And in the time Gary Vee finished his live thing on Discord, his stuff had gone up like 1,000%. So to me, it just felt like the people that are really pushing it have bought in, invested, and now want everybody else to come in and give them money for it. And even Gary Vee him said that 98% of people who invest in NFT have thrown their money down the drain.
Wow.
So I'm, at the moment, think as a photographer point of view, how many of you can go out and sell one of your photos? Think about it carefully. How many of you can go out tomorrow and get someone to buy your photo tomorrow, give you money tomorrow? So why are they going to give you money for your NFT?
Yeah, it's...
I don't get it. To me, it sounds like your baseball cards, your Pokemon thing, anything that they create a want of stuff that's worth nothing. Like Gary Vee's V Friends, I think, are stick sketches that he drew. To me,
I don't get it.
it's, and the other thing is the whole world's screaming, go green, go green, go green.
But
and then the computer's running the coin
crypto.
system, crypto and that. It's like more power is going into running that than the cost of running, I think, Germany in power.
Really?
It's massive.
Jeez.
So if we're going green and we're not allowed to use straws anymore, we shouldn't be doing that shit. That's stupid wasting of money.
I just find the whole thing confusing. And
Right, so all is, whatever you're going to spend on an NFT, find a really, really, really good cause or charity and give that money to them.
I'll find a
It'll
really,
make you feel good.
find a really good car. Talking about the environment.
No, I think find something you're passionate about, and your $1 would make such a difference to that, what you're passionate about. Don't go to things where the money's going to get lost within bureaucracy of some big company like UNICEF. Find somewhere where you're better off to find a struggling person who is legitimately struggling, not begging, and pay it forward. Find someone that can't afford to buy a computer and give them your second-hand computer for nothing.
Such a nice person, Peter.
No, I'm not.
Yes,
It's
you
all
are.
fake.
No,
It's all
you're
smoke and
not.
mirrors.
You're such a nice person.
Then you'd go around and rob them later on. No. I'm joking. Don't rob people, that's horrible.
Mike would like to know what do you feel about the YouTubers focusing on technical aspects of the hardware rather than the art of photography and finding your mojo? And how would you recommend finding your mojo? Well, I guess that's what Peter's trying to do with his channel, and it's kind of just what Peter preaches in general, is that it is not about the technical aspects about things, but unfortunately a lot of people are set in their ways and they do think that is the be all and end all. So that's why there are YouTubers focusing on that, because that's what so many people get caught up thinking that's it. So I don't know, I guess he's just trying to preach what he thinks, which is that it's not about that. But I don't know, how do you feel about it?
Well done, Beck. I can go home.
So what happens when you spend 9 to 5 with someone every day?
Everything you guys are asking is what I used to do and still do a little bit, and it's really not your answer.
Yeah.
Because it's not my answer, and I've learned by wasting too much money on things I think I need, because this review said this, and I picked up and thought, it's just a lens. Yeah, it might be sharp, but actually I don't want super sharp skin because the models hate it. The models would rather something defocused a fraction. So why do I want the sharpest lens in the world? If I was shooting still life or shooting watches or doing maybe street photography, landscape, but when I'm shooting people, the biggest hate for most models is I can see every imperfection in my skin. Or now you have to go into frequency separation and make them look like some Thunderbirds figure. Look, it's right. So number one, I'm doing that thing again.
Why are you doing that?
I just
do you keep bumping it? Yeah.
No, I try and cross my legs. That bumps
Oh, it bumps it.
The easiest way to build a YouTube channel in the early days was do unboxings.
I think there's a kid that makes millions of doing unboxings.
Like 10 million a year unboxing games. So there's your first thing. So a lot of people quickly to get into YouTube, to make a living out of YouTube, would do unboxing. The easiest way, and all you have to do is look at some of the YouTubers and look at the videos that get the most views. A lot of them are gear reviews.
Yeah.
So if you can get the Nikon or Z9 or whatever the new camera is first in the world and get a review out there, you're going to pick up a million friggin' hits, because everyone's going to type in, they want to know what it's like, they want to buy this. So and most of these people, look, so many of these reviews, they don't even have the camera. They've only read the specs. and they're talking, they haven't even taken a, and this is where I hate the whole photography world. Come to musicians. They want to pick up the instrument and play it.
Yeah.
Does this feel good?
Yeah.
Does this sound good?
Yeah.
I don't care if it's technically not correct, but this thing looks good, feels good, sounds good. I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Whereas with cameras and videos, too much of it is on your DP reviews and all these things. Look at the graph. I look at the graph, it looks the same. But if I bring the two pictures up, I actually like the shittier one.
Yeah.
And the best one I ever saw was someone who's putting the X2, they had the booster, they had an 80mm Hasselblad 1.8, and then they put the adapter on and put the Hasselblad 100 on it, which made it a 1.8, and shot them. And it was really funny, they were really technical about why this 80mm was so much better than the 100mm at this. All the comments were, I like the look of the picture of the 100 so much better.
Yeah.
They don't give a shit about the graph.
Yeah.
They give about, oh, that feels so much nicer.
So that's why I guess you try to bring it back to that, and rather than, and I guess you're trying to unteach everyone. Why do you keep moving my mouse?
Oh, that's right. Because it's disintegrating. You know my little thing about crumbs on tables?
No, you keep moving.
They're like ants.
But that's what you're trying to do, is trying to unteach everyone. It's to not focus on that, and that's why I think we do have this beautiful little community that we've got now, where people are starting to get it. Like they're starting to understand it's about the look and the feel of it.
If you come to my workshop and you come in with an old Mark 1 5D Canon, and you have the old, maybe the old Canon 85 1.8, right? All of them going, can't afford much better. That was a beautiful combination.
Yeah.
And
we don't care. It's not
I don't
about that.
care. It's
No one's here judging you like, oh, I can't believe they arrived with that camera. No one actually cares.
Well, on one of the cooking ones.
Oh, the knife
Like,
thing.
yeah,
the knife
I've got like a $300 or $400 knife,
Such a
which
good
is just a
analogy.
joy to cut with. So for me, it is a joy to cut with. But I got an onion out and I've gone cut, and it cut it perfectly. I grabbed a shitty $20 knife off the rack and it cut it.
It wasn't as easy, but...
It wasn't as enjoyable for me because it's a super sharp one.
But if you asked which knife cut which bit of onion, you
They
wouldn't
both
know.
cut the piece of onion.
I loved that analogy.
And so many people would never buy a 400, even though you have expensive knives now.
I do now,
Oh.
yes.
Do you find it so much more enjoyable?
I haven't used them yet.
Oh, you've got your fingers still. But it's, right, so what feels good in your hands, and then what creates what you want to create with the best ease for you to just concentrate on what you're trying to create and not concentrate on friggin' tech and gear bullshit. That gets in your way. It's like, it's hard for people to make that step from shooting in aperture priority, shutter priority, fully P for professional or manual. But if you just do it for a month, you'll find your fingers get there, and on a mirrorless where you've got focus, zebraing, you've brain deaded it. Now you've got control over what you want to happen. The background doesn't change your exposure. So yeah, it's find the stuff that makes you feel good, that makes you take the best pictures. Ignore the graphs; they don't make you take the best pictures.
Precisely.
Precisely.
Precisely. Sorry for the
we're going
long-winded
3 hours.
answer. I know. We always do go for 3 hours. It seems to be the norm now. When we plan a Q&A stream like this, Peter, how much do you budget for the daily wine intake, or am I consistent with my... I'm pretty consistent.
It's about no, it's
I'm pretty...
2 bottles. It's about normal. I'm joking. No, we don't. We got a budget of about $1,000 a week for Beck.
I've got a budget. I need to drive home. Can't get pulled over. How many participants do you need to make your workshop economically viable?
Well, we can do it with one, but we're just going to charge a shitload for that one. No,
I plan it based on, so I do like a budget depending on, so every city has its overhead. So if we're going overseas, I've got to look at flights, accommodation, studio hire, models overseas. Like I've got to hair and makeup, transport, our cost of living. I've got to look at all
We
of that.
still have to pay for our studio space back in Australia.
So I've got to look at all of that, and that's how but I normally price the workshop so that our break even is about 7 participants. So we normally need about 7 people, and that just covers. That's how
That means we didn't earn anything.
we didn't earn, that just covers. So
It covers our
Yeah.
overheads only. It covers Beck's wages, but it doesn't put a single cent into my business.
yeah, it just means that. So that's how it's budgeted.
I
So
think
anything
10,
over that.
10
Tens.
people's what I call a break even for me, which means
makes
it
money.
put money into the business to cover the overheads like insurance and all of those other things, which are yearly type of Beck's car and crap like that. And my minimal drawings, I take stuff all, Beck does the books, so I hardly ever take money out of
You
it.
don't, yeah.
So we need 10, literally to what I call my break even. 7 means it didn't cost me money to do it. 10 means it actually made me neutral to do it.
Yeah.
We had someone ask a question about the workshops were coming up and asked about the portfolio builder and asked how many participants, and we said there's 15 on a portfolio builder. And he was unhappy with that. He said it's just going to be too many people. But he didn't look at what a portfolio builder is, and we don't run them in many places because we do need a big studio to run a portfolio builder.
We've
But
got
we
3
employ-
models at all times.
Yeah, we got 3 models in the morning, 3 models in the afternoon, all working together, which means we break it down to 3 operating shooting areas. And at 15 people, that means 5 people per model. So for an entire 8 hours, the ratio is 5 to 1. And we find on Portfolio Builder, by the time we get to 3 o'clock in the afternoon,
Everyone
all the
calls it.
photographers are sitting down, not shooting, and there's 3 models standing, I'm here if you want to shoot me, and they're
But-
all dead.
But at any one given time, I've also got 2 models, or we've got 2 models set up with flash and then one with natural. So with flash, only one person can have the
Shoot,
trigger.
yeah.
So only one person shooting.
So we don't like that climb over each other and all that
It's
stuff.
horrible.
But we set it up that in an 8-hour day, and it's called Portfolio Builder, you're going to end up with
12
6 different models doing
2
at
looks
least
each.
2 looks.
Yeah.
If we quite often get a 3rd look in. So that gives you a 12 photo portfolio at the end. And I'm not selling this because we don't really run it very often outside
We don't.
of
It
Australia.
always sells out.
It always sells out in Australia. But it's that sort of ratio. So we have to work out a ratio when we're traveling is we need this many photographers to cover the overheads. I think what do we work on for overseas?
What do you mean? Sorry.
How many can we have overseas?
I still allow 15.
We've got the 15. So with our other workshops at 15, it's not a just shoot over the top of each other. When we're doing natural light, we always allow 1 model per 5 photographers.
Yep.
And when we're doing in studio, because a lot of that is teaching,
Yeah.
even though it's hands-on and you're taking shots, it's not about building a folio. It's you taking reference shots so you can go back and do it in your own studio or in your own wherever. So, and we never have had a complaint of anybody saying I didn't get enough shots. We had
No,
the odd person who wants to turn it into a portfolio.
Yeah, and then they get upset when. So now I make it very clear that if it's a studio techniques workshop, it's not a portfolio building day. It's more a teaching day.
A teaching day, and you get
clear
to
now.
take some nice shots, but the whole day isn't about you building a folio.
Yeah.
It's about you learning.
Yeah.
And that's what workshop should be, to teach you how to do something so tomorrow you can do it.
Yeah.
And the one thing that we're very strong with our workshops, and I'm not dishing any of the other educators, but what we do is we try and set up the workshop so you can do it tomorrow.
Yeah, without Peter standing
We don't
there.
go extravagant hair and makeup, we don't go big extravagant gowns, big sets. We try and keep it simplified so what we're teaching, you can actually literally go out and do it yourself without having to spend thousands of dollars.
Yes. Next question away from workshops was, what is the biggest mistake you've ever made when you
Employing
shot?
Beck. Oh.
Hey, that's rude.
When I've shot,
Yeah, the biggest mistake you've made shooting in a studio.
I've done so many.
So
Because I'm tethering, a lot of the times this mistake it might happen for 1 frame.
or 2-3 frames. I don't tend to, because I'm tethered, I get to see if I've done something wrong, I see very quickly. And it's one thing I say with photographers, don't be scared of being a chimp, which means take a shot and look and take a shot and look. Because if you've made a mistake, when you look, you get told, or you can go, oh, that's horrible. Whereas if you just keep shooting without looking, you're going to waste 40 shots and, oh, what have I done?
Yeah.
So I'm predominantly on commercial shoots, like every time, say if we say with Birch, we'll shoot that scarf, and then I'll make sure that the art director and the stylist are 100% happy. Then I take a second shot as a, like make sure if this file fails, I have a second file, and I always go in and just check the focus on both of them, because with that stuff it's important. I don't really...
Would you say you've made a mistake not backing up things before as well?
Me?
Yeah.
When?
I don't know, I'm just saying in general, like I feel like backing up is a very important thing. I feel like that's a mistake people make, not backing up files.
I've had, this wasn't back, I've had assistants telling me something was backed up, it wasn't.
Yeah, I know, but like I feel like that's a common thing that I would also recommend to
We
photographers.
always, we shoot, and
up.
before I go home, it's normally put onto a backup drive. I normally then take a drive home with it on, so it's straight away in 2 different places if my studio burnt down, or if I was in a car accident and my computer got destroyed. So the backing up is pretty important. One of the things I am loving using with my new workflow, I'm still working on it. We are going to do a tutorial on my new Sony workflow. Is using Image Edge, is when I'm shooting, it's sending a copy to my computer and saving a copy to the card at the same time, which is friggin' awesome.
Damn, we've fallen behind again. We've ranted too much.
We ranted.
All right, we're going to start wrapping up soon because we've been going for 3 hours.
All right.
But I am going to quickly get through some tips for shooting night street portraits. We will...
Yeah, we'll do some of that, but the best trick is take your flash off, get your ambient light for the distance where your flash won't hit. So you might end up being, say, 60th of a second, 25,000 ISO at f2.8 or something. Then put your flash on and use your flash to light the subject in the foreground. At least you'll have detail in your backgrounds. And at 60th of a second, your flash should freeze that person, so they're still going to be razor sharp. There's a little bit of blur in the background, nobody cares.
Model releases, can we talk about those? Peter doesn't, we use them commercially.
Yeah, really quickly, commercially, of course, there's releases on test shoots and things like that. There's not, because they can use my picture, I can use my picture, they can't use it commercially, I can't use it commercially. It's that simple.
Yeah.
So if I have agreements with the model, so if a company like Ford ring me up and say, love this picture, you want to use it, I'll ring up the model and say, hey, you want to go 50-50 on whatever they pay. If the model says yes, I'll say, all right, I need a model release on that picture for this amount of money, and I'll send that to Ford. And I always go 50-50 because it takes 2 to tango. Took 2 people to make that image. There's some photographers that think they're above the model. In the real world, under usage, the models normally get paid more than the photographer. So.
Prohibition against smoking on YouTube, yes, there actually is. So, and also people get really cranky, so I got...
Yeah, I've had a few models wanting to do smoking shoots, and I say, are you ready for the shit? You're going to get like crucified.
Yep.
And Stefania was one of them who did it. And yeah, the first 10 comments with, how dare you smoke? And so it was quite... But then I watched the movie the other night, it was a brand new movie, and he's smoking his head off.
Yeah, no, it's just your body, your choice. That's what my parents said to me when I told them I
I'm
smoke. Podcast with a Q&A segment. We're going to turn these Q&As into podcasts, so you can go back and listen to these at any time.
Give us a month, maybe 2 months max. We're going to be doing a live stream once a month, which will become a podcast. That's why I don't have a computer in front of me, so I can't do visual things, so people can't see it. And we're going to do like 45-minute, 1 hour podcasts every week. Beck and I talking our crap.
Perfect portrait lens, focal length in your opinion, are f1.2 worth the money? It's up to your taste.
It depends on the background. The 1.2 is for the background, it's not for the foreground.
Right.
Seriously, get a good lens, like any of the good lenses, you get the 1.2, 1.4, take it out, take some nice pictures, then bring it up around 2.8 and take pictures. If you can't see a noticeable difference, don't spend that extra $1,000 for the 1.2 unless you've only got really crappy backgrounds.
Exactly.
But sometimes it's good to see the background. Like we were doing that thing with Rara the other day. That was, actually I liked the pictures when I opened it up more.
Yeah. Is it just us two that produce everything?
Yes.
It is. Yes, just us two.
We don't employ anybody else.
Nope, just a little two-man show.
Then it's just us.
Do you like sports? Peter likes car racing. I don't like sports. I mean, if the Olympics are on, I like the gymnastics. I like seeing them do all the flippy stuff. I think it's cool. I think it's impressive.
You like it when they fail and break a leg.
No, that makes me cringe.
Oh, but you watch UFC. You like UFC.
Actually, yes, I love UFC.
Especially broken limbs and blood spraying everywhere.
Me of all people, I love UFC. I get so excited for UFC Sundays with the boys, get a couple drinks and we all sit there, and all the boys put bets on. I don't put bets on, but I just love the UFC. It's brutal.
I'm not into UFC. I guess every punch hurts me. I'm into my car racing. I love car racing. Depends on it. I've quite often watched darts. It's quite funny.
Really?
Oh, it's so funny, the all 88s and they're calling the haircuts, and I quite like that.
I never
Just
knew
as a
this
joke,
about
I
you.
don't watch it much, but if I'm stumbling around and I might watch it for 5-10 minutes. Look, any sport that's interesting, I'd watch a bit, but there's nothing, car racing's the only thing you ever hear me go.
Exactly, that's why I didn't even know you
Like
liked
F1 is, I will either stay up till 3 in the morning or set my alarm and get up to watch it just so it doesn't get spoiled on social media for me.
Yes, lots of people are saying thank you for this. You guys are so welcome. Where did I just saw a question? Do you calibrate your monitors?
Yes, the home ones were ISO, they self-calibrate. I've spent too much money on the new Apple monitor. Yeah, I know it's really expensive, but the two ISOs were going to cost me more. And I've noticed with the Apple, I could calibrate it, but it doesn't need. I've actually done my tests, it's perfect. It doesn't drift, or it doesn't seem to drift. I've done a lot of research on it, and working on that big 6K monitor, I have my little laptop there that sets all the things like the little shit I'm not really interested in, but I have everything on this beautiful big workspace, so I'm actually really, really enjoying my new workflow.
Yeah,
But
you were saying that the other day. How much you love it.
My ISOs on my home computer had the self-calibration, but then every now and then I'd turn on and think, oh, this colour's horrible. And have to run calibration again, think, oh, I don't like this either, and then look up a file, oh, that one will do. So it wasn't always perfect for me. And the really good trick is shoot black and white, and it doesn't, no, it does matter a bit, but not as much.
I think your dyslexia is rubbing off on me because I first read Mike's question as who do you hide your lenses from? Who do you hire your lenses from?
I don't know, because I haven't done it. It's a new thing.
Hiring?
Yeah. Look, Sony, I think Sony watches me, because I noticed when I ordered the A1, I had it before it was actually released, and it was another camera they did that to me too, didn't it? We said someone else in the industry, how did you get that? And I said, why isn't it out yet? And he goes,
Nope.
no, it's all on, everyone has this pre-order. You've got. So I think Sony knows who I am, and the other day, pre-Christmas, I mentioned someone, and Sony said, yeah, we can, any ones you want, we'll send you out to play with. So with Sony, I think I'm a little bit lucky because who I am, but I think you can still hire from there. But I know Leica hire out their Leica gear. I think you just got to find, there's places that'll hire.
Yeah.
You just got to find in your area. The problem is that the higher places near me for like the Fujis, I have to go into the city.
It's quite a while for where we
Hour
are.
and a half drive in, hour and a half drive back. I'm not even going to bother for when I'm happy with the gear I've got.
Fair. Have you tried converting the LUT you made to a Capture One style or ICC profile?
I haven't, no, because
Don't use it.
I actually, F-stoppers did a really interesting thing the other day, and it's the first time I actually seen a Lightroom versus Capture One. And I didn't watch it a lot, but I looked at just the overall, and they basically said a little bit of what I said, that Capture One's a bit aggressive, too sharp, that you can't, the sharpness that you don't seem to be able to turn off. And you move a slider a tiny bit and it does a lot compared to, and I'm not a fan of Lightroom, but they were working in DNG files. I can't remember what camera they were working. And yeah, I'm feeling the same, that we keep getting asked to do Capture One. Every time we go there, we've never used an image, have we?
and we've always been unhappy. It just feels too digital. But it's fine for you, landscape and those, but for us, people are shooting human that want a little bit of, we need something to be imperfect to make it perfection.
Yes.
So, yeah, and it's not a dish. I'll keep trying. Capture One are changing things soon. You now can't have a Sony account or a Fuji account. It's now all cameras. I don't want an all camera account. I don't have any other cameras. And they won't do Hasselblad. So I've only got a Sony. I only want to pay a little bit for a Sony account.
Fair
Anyway.
Todd, yes, we'll be coming to the States later in the year.
Yep.
Fingers crossed if things don't go pear-shaped. Is there a proper way to calibrate your monitors?
Honestly, the only one I've been happy with has been the ISO self-calibration. I've had i1, I've had all the other ones, and I've always found that I would have to do 2 or 3 calibrations till I think it got it right. So I've never been 100% happy with it, no.
I love this. Is there a smart way to waste money?
Yeah, take up photography. Serious, take up photography and get a passion for Leica.
Or Hasselblad.
Or Hasselblad. Although Hasselblad's their expensive stuff doesn't seem to be there anymore.
I guess.
No, Leica's out doing them for expensive though. Yeah, photography. Trying to think what else is expensive. Or go to the club with Beck. She'll blow heaps of money for it.
I can easily waste money very smartly though.
Yeah.
Very,
Don't
very
take Beck shopping.
Yeah. In terms of your photography style, you said earlier, that's not what I do. In a couple of sentences, what is it that you do? Like, what's the Peter Coulson thing?
When I look through the lens, I just go, it's not me. Or when I'm looking at, as I'm capturing something, and Beck's heard me say, I look like a uni student.
Yeah.
It looks like someone trying to do something they don't understand they're doing, or the lighting, my clients will first frame and go, that's amazing. I go, no, it's not. And it's those little things that my eyes are looking at that nobody else can see till I get it to her, and then I show them where they were happy and where I'm happy, and then they go, oh my God, that is so much better. Because it's like anything, if you've never driven a racing car and someone gets you to go, oh my God, that's the fastest thing I've ever done. Yeah, the tuning of that's terrible, they tune it properly, then it's like off the scale, but you were happy with it where it was when you got in there. I don't know if that's a really dumb analogy, but
No, that's fine.
it's hard. I look at the world through my eyes. My eyes are a little bit messed up, and I love quirky stuff. Becca's seen so much of my quirky,
Yeah.
just weird stuff. But that weird stuff is when you see it, it just goes, oh my God, I need to capture something like that.
Yeah. Someone asked about darkroom. No, Peter can't do darkroom because it hurts his head.
I get headaches. It hurts my head. My friends when I was going through high school loved me. They couldn't take photos. But I take photos and I couldn't do the darkroom, so they all did my darkroom work. And what we did at school is, yeah, I don't like those shots, you can have those, and they would submit theirs, which I took, but didn't matter.
How do you keep from burning out? With your sim?
You do need to have some escape, and you also, look.
Our camera died.
Didn't you watch?
I did before and it had, sorry guys,
So
technical
technical
difficulties. Give me 1 second, I'm so sorry.
Burning out, like, all of us have mental health to different degrees, and certain things will tip us over the ends and certain things will burn us out. I try and keep a balance in my life. So I have a very expensive little man cave which has a sim racing car in there, and because it's so different.
We're back.
We're back. Because it's so different to photography and that, I can just go in there and get brain dead, and because I love driving fast, even though, like the Safeway, I'm never going to die in the sim. If I was going to die, it'd be a good place to die though. So it's my little bit of an escape, but it's normally just have things in your life you enjoy. Like I'm really enjoying cooking. So just that
Escape so that you can refresh.
You can refresh.
It's so easy to get bogged down within your business. Sometimes it's good just to take a break, even if it's for an hour, to take your mind completely off. It could be golf, it could be fishing, could be anything, just even playing with the dogs.
Throwing the ball,
just something that can get you away from the hassle. And it's not so much a photography, it's running a business. It doesn't matter what you're doing, running a business is freaking one of the hardest things you can do in life. And it's not like I want to make trillions of dollars. I'm not after, I just want to do what I want to do and let people pay me to do what I want to do.
Yes. Ooh, workshop in Vegas. That'd be fun.
That'd be too dangerous. The last time we went to Vegas, you end up in hospital.
No, that was the first time I went to Vegas.
Oh.
Every time I go to Vegas, something bad happens though.
Yeah, so no thank you.
What program do you use to edit your music videos? He uses Final Cut.
No, I don't.
Edit
the video.
your music video.
The video is Final Cut. Writing the music is Logic.
Peter did a good job building a great relationship with your child. I'm not Peter's child, but we do have a very good working relationship. But no, I'm not Peter's child. I'm kind of like the adopted child of the family though.
Yeah, no, if that was born, I would have pushed it back in after a refund. I'll say that's soft enough.
No, they will hear that. All right, we've really got to start wrapping this up. I'm trying to quickly get through.
Everyone's things.
People keep going though.
That's all right. I don't mind if they keep
Do you do
going.
stock photography?
Nope.
Nope. People are sending us nice stuff. Using LCD on the camera is always a bad idea. What's your take on that?
I'm not a fan of, I can't do that thing. I just cannot do that. As much as I try, I just feel like I'm on an iPhone. I rather the viewfinder. It's just, I've been shooting since I was 12 through a viewfinder.
Fair. Care to share your A1 ACR LUT? Sorry to be that person, but you can get it on Inspire. But we've got Peter's action set and LUTs. The green LUT and everything's on Inspire. No,
all right. So you can make your own LUT.
Okay.
So it's really simple. Look, what I'll do, I'll find there is a really, really good tutorial. I was already making LUTs and things like this, and I saw this guy, what he was doing. Yeah, I'm doing the same. Oh, you're doing that little thing that I didn't know. And I didn't know you could put LUTs into ACR. So I will get Beck to put a link in our description once we get off this to this guy that shows you how to build a LUT in Photoshop and put it into ACR. So all I'm doing is my LUT is I'm making a red channel, a green channel, and a blue channel. I think I did an orange and yellow channel LUT. And then when it's in ACR, at the very top of ACR, you talk about color space, there's Adobe Color. If you click on that, you can go to what you've loaded into ACR and pick a red, green, or blue channel. So instantly your picture will go to black and white, but Adobe Raw still sees it as a color. So you still have all the color mixer and everything like that, even though the picture is. And what you can do at the end, before you export it, go back and change it back to the Adobe color. And when you export it into Photoshop, you can just use the red, green, or blue channel to replicate it. But now you also have a color version of it that came out. Hope that wasn't too confusing, but it's people pay us very, very good money to be on Inspire, and we're not trying to force you to having to do this, but this is why the Inspire people are paying because they're getting all of this extra stuff.
Yep.
That's just put every couple of months. We're about to put a whole heap of new actions and stuff like that they can download and use. And they're paying good money for that. YouTube, you just have to watch an ad to see this. So it's a little bit, this is why they're paying. But like I said, we will put a link to the guy which teach you how to put a LUT in, and I've told you what LUT is. Go into Channel Mixer, put a picture into Photoshop, go into Channel Mixer, put a red, green, or blue channel. He shows you how to save that out as a LUT, then he shows you how to bring it into ACR to use it within ACR.
We've got 3 more and then we're going, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
For someone interested in following your style, what would be your recommendation for lights and modifier?
If you if you don't have much money, the largest umbrella, silver umbrella you can buy with a sock on it. So it has a diffuser sock on it, and that becomes a large octa. If you have a bit more money, get an octa. The next thing is a bare bulb, like a bare bulb on a Pro Photo, but you can't do a bare bulb on anything that sticks out because it just spreads everywhere. So if you've got a light that sticks out, a really shallow reflector, if you've got those two lights, I can do anything. If you want to go the next step up from that, get a beauty dish with a grid, make sure the beauty dish is white.
Where was I? I had the next one there. Yeah, quickly someone said, no, I don't have OnlyFans, no one ever have OnlyFans. I'm really special, so like no one gets to see my really special.
I do toe shots.
I misspelled Sydney on the thumbnail. Okay, I'll fix that up. I'm really sorry. It's the nails that get in the way. Peter, I know you have a background in fetish photography. How did you light latex so you retain the deep black colour, nice bright white highlights, but detail on the blacks?
Right, so a lot of the times I'd make sure when I'm capturing it that my blacks, if I put my eyedropper over my blacks, nothing was below 10 in RGB. So I'd set my underexposure warning in, if you're using Capture One or Hasselblad, while I was shooting, that was set to 14, and it would come up purple. If I started to see purple a little bit in the deep shadows, I didn't care, but if it was on the blacks of the latex, I would bring, now I don't like lighting with more lights, but in my old studio I had a problem with my blacks, and I had set up in the corner, I think it was about a 12-foot big cheap ass Octa thing, which was set to my shadows. So it was always there, it was always set at a set power regardless, and always made sure I had detail in the shadows, because you can always make your blacks blacker, but once you've lost your blacks, you can't make them lighter.
And last one, and then we're going to go.
What about that really good one?
No.
Shut up.
Where do you start when you were trying to come up with a new concept for a shoot? Where does the inspiration come from, and what steps do you take to realise it?
It's really hard. Right. Writer's block is caused by trying to force something. Back and go simplistic. So if a model comes in or a client comes in, they've got this, I'll let my gut feeling the first thing that comes to my mind. If something didn't come to my mind, I just nearly go zen. Take it back so I'm not thinking anything, and then look at it. And the first thing that comes into my mind when I'm looking at it will be a direction I start to take with it. And I know this sounds really stupid, but it's happened on a few occasions where I've said, that just feels like really bad wedding dress. Let's use this trash wedding.
Yeah.
So try and dumb it down. You cannot come up with ideas under stress. So try and de-stress, try and simplify to a single emotion. So when I look at that, what emotion am I feeling? If it's to throw up, maybe you need to do a shot of the model throwing up wearing it. I know it's really bad, but that's how messed up my head is.
I know.
So writer's block happens to everybody, but you won't have writer's block if you force your writer's block. Unforce. Use the force. I didn't like Star Wars. Just really try and close your eyes and re-look at it. If you don't see it again, turn away. Re-look at it. Drink a bottle of scotch. Re-look at it.
Fantastic advice. All right, well, we've been going for 3.5 hours, so
We'll quickly finish those last couple.
No,
They're slowing down.
No, most people aren't really quick. They're just saying thank you. Our stream schedule, we don't have a real set schedule, but we probably will be starting to make one. We just, since I've been back for 2 weeks, we've been kind of shooting every day. So me and Peter haven't had the chance to sit down and have a meeting about what our year looks like. So we need to have a meeting and just sit down and kind of plan stuff. So we'll probably come up with something then.
Also that we can't do the whole world at the same time.
No, we can't.
So the stuff, now that we're in daylight savings time in America isn't, it's now middle of the day, which is really easy for us.
So easy.
Europe's a bit harder, it has to be evenings, but we're not going to not do evening. Well, that gives us an excuse to eat food.
Woo.
So we're only going to target the two areas. So Europe and America are our main two targets.
Yep.
And either way, Australia gets to see it.
Exactly. So we will come up with a bit of a schedule. These will be once a month. Podcasts will be coming soon. We've got, as I said, we haven't had a chance to have a meeting because we've been filming and shooting every day since I've been back.
So had birthdays.
We have heaps of new stuff. We just honestly need to have a few admin days to have a few organisational days and a few
Tomorrow's our
editing
first
days.
day in the office. Like, it's been stupid.
So we'll sit down, we'll edit some stuff. There'll be heaps of new videos, heaps of new Inspires, new YouTubes, lots of stuff. I'm so excited for this year. I hope it's better than the last 2 years. Cause
No, we're just going to create shit. That's all I always said to you. There's going to be a good year this year. Don't care what new friggin' virus. Although I think it's not going to be Mother Nature yet. The ring of steel, the volcanoes are going to start. We're going to split in half.
With our ESP, don't. It's gonna happen now.
We'll be two separate planets. We could fly through space from one planet to the other.
I don't want to do that. I just want it to be cool and
Elon
like,
Musk will make a fortune.
like he needs it. Jeez. All right. Well,
Sorry, we're just getting stupid now.
So if you like that, that's probably what our podcast is going to be like.
Yep.
So we're going to head off, and actually I need to pay myself. It's payday. So
I better put money in there.
thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
We do, and thank you so much for, not that we chase this, it was just really,
once again.
It's something we didn't think would happen because we just talk our shit and people seem to like what we do.
So thank you. It really means a lot that you guys like watching us. So we can't thank you enough, and thank you for joining us. If I missed your question, I'm very sorry. Feel free to shoot us an email, and
We've got to put the link of that photographer to YouTube. I'll do that.
we'll do that. But thank you guys again. We love you. You guys are awesome. Have an
See ya.
awesome day wherever you are. See you soon.